And on that note, welcome to the third mysterious saga game, Atelier Lydie Suelle, or is it Suelle? I'm not sure. The Alchemist and the Mysterious Painting. I've already fiddled with settings a little bit, but this game's kind of loud, so I might tone it down further later on, we'll see. Sound effects I'm definitely turning down, but I might kind of rock that for now, we'll see. But that being said, let's not mess around. I've been looking forward to this. I've heard very good things about the last game of the initial trilogy, so I'm very excited to see what Atelier Lydie and Suelle, or Suelle, brings. So let's jump straight in. God, and the art style once again has had a bit of a clean up since Ferris. You can tell they were definitely finding themselves throughout these games. Hey, Lydie. Oh, it's not Lydie, it's Lydie. Hey, Lydie, found anything over there? No. What about you, Sue? So Lydie's the short hair, Sue's the long hair. Not a thing. Boy, this looks bad. We need to do something. Lydie and Suelle, the Malin sisters. I know. If we don't find some ingredients soon, we won't have anything to eat tomorrow. I can't stand that bitter uni soup anymore. Me either. We should just search some more. Well said, sis. I'll leave this in your capable hands. Hold it. No way, sister. You're helping me too. Alright. Don't make a big thing about it. Gathering materials. There's X to pick things up. So by gathering materials to find nearby. Oh, this game's not at 60 FPS. This is definitely a 30. Why does Suelle have a gun? So Lydie's the actual, or Lydie is more of the alchemist. Whilst this, what's this girl is? Look out, she's got a gun. Oh, I like the art style clean up in this at all. Really a lot. Okay, then they've wrapped that up nicely. Harvest. Good nice blow. And then we don't have item yet because we only just started. Oh, this music's very sweet. Really? That's kind of... Okay. Okay. She shouts kick as well. That's kind of cute. Is there a map button? No, camera zoom is the same as before. Oh god, yeah, this even marks it out like the game's like hint hint. Flowers. That's gonna be blue flowers. Oh, not that we're not going to find out. That should do it from around here. Next we need some ores and some fruit. Let's start with the ores. Sure thing. Ore, sweet little ore. Ah, there's a promising looking rock over there. Hey, why are you looking at me? I can't break that, no way. Promise with Mum #1. Don't give up before you even try. I picked up loads more than you back there. Your turn to pull your weight, big sis. Stop picking on me. Okay, I'm on this. Swinging, smashing things. Swinging things, break it. Hit him as hard as you can. Oh, and now it's the... Oh, okay, this is so fucking cute. Fuck you. I like that, because you know why that's like that? It's so you can break shit quicker. What's this flower over here? Oh, are we going to get told off for going away? Let's not go any further inside. There might be monsters in there. So if I start spamming square, she'll just, yeah. She'll just keep bonking until she breaks it. Finally got it. I can't take any more. My lungs are burning. Yes, yes, great work. Leave the rest of this to me. Right, fruit. There's one place to find it. A good kick should start a fruit fall. Why not give it a good try? Swing an indirect gathering. Even though that can't be broken, may reward your materials when hit or kicked at. Example, hitting the tree. Try hitting the tree. I love the fact that her attack is... Wow, she auras kicks at the end as well. That's okay, this game's definitely got more style than the other two, what it's doing. That take care of the fruit too, which means we've collected everything that Dad asked for. I'm totally exhausted from all that. It was worth it though. No more of that soup. Anyway, I think we'd better be. There's been so many thunderstorms recently. I know, it's hardly the season for them too. Well, you can't control the weather. Let's just go back to the atelier before it starts raining. Not a bad idea. In which case, race you. Hey, no fair. Wait up, Sue. And I think the theme that's playing is their, like, atelier theme. Oh, that's a cute little animation. This is Mervale, the royal capital of the Kingdom of Adelaide. A glorious city with a long history. Oh, they're going back to the Sophie formula of having one big, like, main city and then the map expands from it. Facing the Mile Ocean and enveloped by the smell of the sea, it is also home to our twin alchemists. The older sister is Lydie, a smart and gentle girl who prefers to avoid most of the physical activities. The younger one is Suelle. She is a tomboy with a cheerful personality who can be rather mischievous. Lydie and Sue, or Lydie and Lydie, it's going to take me forever to adjust to that, are always together, and they run a small atelier along with their father. Oh, it's cute. However, truth be told, their everyday life is not so smooth sailing. And there's a well just outside for fresh water, just like in Sophie. Oh god, this game's in chapters. Chapter 1, The Twins. This game's got chapters. Ooh. And there's the atelier. I'm guessing that's their dad. Dad, we're back! We gathered all sorts of great stuff. Ah, good work, girls. Although it took you long enough. Roger! Roger Mallon. Whose fault is that? You kicked us out the door with just a list and no time to prepare. Did I know, you little scamp? Sorry, I really am getting so forgetful in my old age. Even forgetting how many times you've used that one in the last week. You too. Here's everything we collected. Dad, go ahead and synthesize them. Oh, about that. I've had a change of heart. You girls can handle it, right? What? You promised to handle that. There's two things that need to be made too. Sorry, but I've been struck with artistic inspiration. I need to get this down on a canvas. I'm heading down to the basement at once. See you later, girls. And he fucking ran. Oh, don't come down here. It's for me to call down the thunder god on your heads. I'll show you thunder, you dummy daddy. Pushing all your work onto your daughters. Farewell. I can't stand it. All he does is break his promises. I know it looks that way, but remember what Mum said. He always keeps them in the end, right? I heard her say that, sure. But you really think it's true? Nope, not a word of it. See? No use complaining. We just have to sort this mess out for ourselves. You said it. We're back on the soup if we don't complete this job. Together, we can do it, I hope. Yep, you can save. Oh, you can return to the title screen straight from that. That's nice. Leave the game. You can change the character you're controlling and change... take the bed to advance patches of time. However, right now you need to work. Access the cauldron and perform some synthesizing. Curse a foolish father of ours. Pay when he gets back. Oh, this is a older protagonist. This is from like a much older Atelier game. And yeah, that's that. Okay. Same with her. She has an old one. Not as many costumes as Spirus, but oh well. I wish it wouldn't kick us out the entire menu. That's... I was gonna say, this game came out after Blue Reflection, so I wanted to immediately check if there was Blue Reflection music in here. Hang on. Oh, it's the main boss themes. Yeah, it's the main boss themes. Oh. God, I'm sorry. If you've been reading my channel recently, I really fucking love Blue Reflection 2. I love Blue Reflection 1's music, but Blue Reflection 2 as a whole is just beautiful. They have the final boss theme as well. Yep, and they plays that leitmotif. Oh, now I'm in the mood to play Blue Reflection again. We've only just started this. I also mentioned it as well before, but even though I did 2 full playthroughs of Blue Reflection Second Light, Garen goddamn to you, I won't wait forever to go through it again because I love it. Hey, the battle theme. And the upgraded version that plays in the later half of the game. You have a battle theme. You have a battle theme. The chilling in the school theme. One of the dungeon themes. The victory theme. I don't know why it's called Hope. I never realised it was called Hope to Die. Holy shit. And then the better victory theme for later in the game. I'm so happy that... Oh! Do they have one? Do they have one? I don't think they have one. Ah, that's a shame. Also, if they have Knights of Azure 1, we're absolutely putting some tracks in. I need to get back to Knights of Azure 2. It's just... if you recall, the reason why I stopped is because it crashes all the time. But it is a fun game. Right, I've been distracted for long enough, sorry. I don't even think this game's actually at 30 FPS. It feels a little stuttery. Right, we've got this, Lydie. Just don't use the wrong neutralizer again, okay? Me? What about you, Sue? No more broken flasks, understand? Oh, there's already a number of things available to you. Holy shit. Synthesize an item, you must first learn the recipe for it. The recipe are the ones you don't really know. Specific requirements of each recipe. So to synthesize after materials, no you don't, and your level is too low. Yeah, all the Blizz cores, Stone, Dimensional Bomb, Omega Craft, Apple Tart, Stew, Tonic Powder, Spike Boot, Bag. The Blazon of Genesis. We're not making that for forever though. Crimson Stone, Harmonium, nah, no chance we're making that anytime soon. Even ignoring the level. Parasol of Courage, Sphere of Wisdom, Bond of Royalty, the Argenta Harmony, the Verticaput, Force Regen, Lion's Might. Are these all DLC items, do you think? And that's why they're added? Like, they're all here, because there's a lot of shit. Anyway. Set materials, yada yada. It says quality. Does it still do the colouring thing? Quality and size. Yeah. By quality, by quantity, by component cells. Ooh. The game starts you with a Dunkelheit and a Dragon Scale. How nice of them. But no. You can begin the synthesis now. You've lit the synthesize. And this is the first time, so yeah, it's not going to have the grid. The grid will be later. That's one of them finished. Looks like we pulled it off too. Yes, one more thing to make then. That was easier than I thought. I think we're getting better at alchemy. Let's go right ahead and synthesize the next thing. Oh my god. Okay, calling it a hunch, they were more confident with this. I mean, like, the art style's, like, the art style feels closer to what they eventually jumped to in Riser. It's already got fancy artwork going, it has 2 protagonists, it has a shit ton of, yeah. I'm immediately getting the vibe there's more money and effort in this. I'm on it. Can't be bothered fiddling around though, so full power. Ah! Hold on. Do I smell burning? It's on fire. It's on fire. I'm on fire. Put it out, put it out, put it out, put it out. Calm down, I've got it. I spilled something. What's that horrible smell? The fire is out. The cauldron is smoking. Sue! This stink is never coming out. Hold on. What's making that noise? It's going to explode! They've got a trophy in Twins Daily Happenings. Oh, I like. Okay, that's kind of cool. How they handled the clock in this. The next day. In the end, it took us all night. At least we got it done. My eyes can hardly stay open. But we still need to deliver the goods. The orders were placed by the nun at the church and the blacksmith. Let's go and finish the job. Then we can just sit here. If we just sit here, I'm going to fall asleep. I agree. See you later, Mum. See you later, Mum. Aww. We'll see what happens. I just want to go down there. We better listen to him, at least about this. Man, one clearly looks after the bed, the other doesn't. Let's go look outside. Ah, Lydie and Sue. Busy with work, are you? That's right. We're off to deliver some items. Oh, it's the same generic NPC in all of them. It can't be easy running an odd job store. It's like you haven't had much sleep either. We aren't an odd job store. We're an atelier, an alchemy atelier. Sure thing, atelier, whatever you say. Luck with it anyway. Just be careful with your health. I'll bring you something nice again soon. Great, we'll be looking forward to it. Nice, something tasty to look forward to. We need to head to Seaview Hill and Soiled Street. Make the deliveries, get paid, and sleep like a log. Ugh, you'll pay for this dummy, Daddy. She needs to stop saying that. Town map. You can press select button for the town map. The map allows you to move around mobile. The map indicate the following: main story event are available, side story, activity, and event. The map will pass as you travel. It is very convenient to use the town map to explore. Oh, have we completely gone back to Atelier Sophie? Because the clock's not moving. Can I just... Oh, I don't think I can. I was going to say, can I bring up a map of just where we are? But so we live on the east bank. And you got the street opposite. And down the bottom is the garden. And the Seaview Hill's way over there. I just want to look around. Oh, hey! Bar. Let's go back to our atelier quick. This is our atelier. Yeah. And I saw this, I went to check. Brought some water, we don't need it, right? Oh, right. You know what that is? That's, we don't want you to advance time. Until we say so. Oh, they have the most perfect location for our house. Because, like, living by the beach is cool and all. You don't want to be this house. You don't want it to literally be facing the ocean like this. Because all the sea grit, the sea air, all the salt and everything will wear down your house super quick. You want to be close to it, but have some kind of wall between it. So I think they've got, like, this is the perfect house for beach access. But you can see how things are slowly starting to improve between games. Like, I can feel it in this, that things are a bit different in this compared to Theris. And Theris as well was also a bit different to Sophie. It will be more of a bit when we jump to Sophie 2, because several other games came out. I'll say that several other games came out between Theris and this, but still. Something else gets like shooting fish in a, well, you know how it goes. Barrel. It's a barrel. Oh, I was hoping that she'd say other lines. I'll just walk straight in. Damn, it's an invisible wall. So we're not quite there yet. We're not quite at the riser level of openness just yet. We've still got a bit to go. Beautiful. So you're going to have to forgive me. It's the same with Theris. The first thing I wanted to do was just kind of explore and look around. And because this game's got, like, really noticeably improved art style, I'm even more curious about my surroundings. So that goes straight across the bridge to the street. So what's above us? Oh, we can't go to the Castle Plaza then. It's just not got a quick warp on it, for some reason. And this is to the castle, so I imagine we can't just go straight in yet. No. Maybe later. I've been waiting a while for this. Yeah, welcome one, man. I got what I considered the true ending of Theris the last time I streamed. Because, you know, in the post-game, like, the whole post-game is about Theris trying to find what she wants to do next in her life. Well, she eventually has decided to... Well, I had her decide to go on a never-ending adventure with Leonie. And I felt that ending made the most sense. And so now it's like, well, there's no reason to continue Theris because it feels wrapped up. So let's move on. So here we are. I've literally only just started, as you can tell. I'm just waddling around and getting a feel for things. Oh, jeez. Oh, I thought that was a person for a second. No, that's just the armory that's there. Who's the blacksmith? Is it still Loji, or is it going to be someone else? Oh, it's someone else. Hello, Haggle. We have a delivery for you. Oh, God. Every ending, every single one. What, in Furious? Oh, jeez. I know this game has multiple endings as well, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. What do you want? Sorry, delivery for... Haggle, please, don't scare Lydie like that. No, it's just you girls. Sorry about that, I didn't mean to frighten you. Haggle! The Haggle. He's not a main character, so he doesn't get a last name. No need to apologise. I do it to myself. Honestly, you placed an order with our father, right? We're here to deliver for him. We worked pretty hard on this for you. Every game in full to 100%, jeez. To be honest, I did say at the end of the last stream, if I said, I think after the time limit, the game does get way better, and I did actually enjoy it quite a lot. It's just obviously the time limit half of the game is the main chunk of the game, and I think that's what let it down. But I still really liked Furious. I said after the other side of the timer, I really enjoyed it. It came into its own a lot more. Oh, then I can't wait to try it out. Show me what you've got, girls. Deliver items. Just fucking talk to them. Yep, I know how to do a quest. That the game is bigger, even just the kingdom of Adelaide. Yeah. What the fuck is this music? Maybe it started elsewhere. Take this and stop it with your weird theme. Oh, this is really well made, especially when compared to the last one, I mean. Please forget about that one. Consider it forgotten. This will be more than enough. Here's your reward. Money! Thank you, Yvette, so much. Look at this money. Big help, girls. I'll call in again if I need anything else. Literally everyone, what the hell is this music? Yeah, get me the heck out of here. You're not Luigi. Get me out of here. I know I could quick warp, but once again, I want to kind of get a feel for the map, so I'm going to waddle around. Oh, I love this. Hang on. I love that you can just go run wild, whacking like this. This will make... other than the fact that it's a really funny and cute animation, especially if you're playing as Sue, because she just kicks like a maniac. This will be so much easier to get resources out. I wish I could just zoom out that mini-map. So I like how much of this almost is immediately reverted back to Atelier Sophie, but there's a part of me that kind of also wish they didn't. So the fact that the timer's not moving when I'm wooling around town or just walking around, it only moves when I like, advance areas. It's like that's gone back to Sophie, at least for now. So I guess reactions, yeah. And the fact that we have, you know, our own Atelier already established with a well right next to it for water, that's very Atelier Sophie. I like the art style in this game. I like how I like seeing how these games are developed. Trust me, it gets weirder. Great. But I do also like right off the bat that this game's split into chapters, so we'll have more of a connected story. I'm hoping, because both Sophie and especially Furious, their story kind of just happened whenever. It just kind of floated around. Whilst I'm hoping this, it'll be a tiny bit more forefront and a bit more noticeable of what's like important sort of thing. 5 or 7 worlds in this game. Ooh, fair enough. This church theme's not as good as Fluffy Prayer from Sophie. It's just putting it out there now. Sister Grace, we're here with a delivery. Grace Weisberg. You're from the Weisberg family. Who else is in the Weisberg family? Hang on a minute, we've met Weisbergs before. Who's your family? Thank you for coming. I thought I placed this order with Roger, though. Sorry about that. We ended up making it for him. Again? What a deadbeat. I mean, with the grace of God, I gratefully accept your hard work. Thank you so much. I can tell how hard you must have worked on this. You both have bags under your eyes after all. I guess we should have at least splashed some water on our faces. My dear children, thank you for your hard work. Grace, it's always really sad to VH. Ooh. Well, we've only just started, so I'll figure that out in time. Here's your payment. Hey, $100. Once you've finished work, make sure to take a good long rest. Do you hear me? We will. Thank you, Sister Grace. Good girls. Be careful on your way home. And I'm guessing, I'm going to sleep, Sue. No chance, Lydie. Okay, that's kind of cute. But I'm guessing... start heading back. Oh, I was gonna say, does he open up a shop in the same way Pam does? I like the costume design in this game as well. Well, I'm not sure about the whole side boob thing that she's got going on, but I like the costume design as a whole. Another job finished, but then these two are more centric than the other pro tags. Yeah, no worries. Finished. Great work today, Sue. You too, Lydie. Do you think we'll be able to eat tomorrow? I think so. Just a little bit would be nice. Why don't we take a look at the notice board in the plaza on our way home? Not a bad idea. I just hope there's something easy that pays big. I think you're a bit too optimistic. I think, Lydie, I think we'd all like something that's easy that pays big. Oh, the church is just kind of out here on its own. Interesting. Oh, and there's a graveyard in the back. Okay, so it's a very traditional church setup then. There's a plant missing. I thought there should be a plot somewhere that we can push onto this. You know what? Like activate a treasure chest. Can we get anything out the well? Okay, the game just keeps on saying, "Hey, you probably could." Not yet. Where's the notice board? Oh, so now the game wants to go to the plaza. I see. And I'm guessing down there is to exit the town. Just obviously not yet because plot. Then the town has a very similar, like, not structure, it's its own structure, but a similar feel to Kirk and Bell from Sophie as well. I'm comparing this more to Sophie than Furious because it feels more in line with Sophie than Furious. Dun, 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 dun. Look at all these people. Atelier Buffery is as popular as ever. Bufire? All those customers, I bet they eat like royals every night. I'd be more shocked if they didn't. Sure, I'm jealous of the number of their customers too, but it won't be that way forever, I mean. I know, our atelier will give them a run for their money soon enough. There's 2 ateliers in one town. Oof. Oh, next! Oh, Lydie and Sue. Hello, you two. What are you doing here? Hey, no cutting. My turn next. Quiet out, Gramps. I was next in line. Hold on. Stop pushing, please. Form an orderly queue. Hey, hands off. Okay, she's feisty as fuck, and I already like her. Recently over here. Okay, so that's her atelier. And this is the notice board. Right then, what kind of job are there on offer? Finding monsters nearby? Too tough for us. Finding a pet puny? Reward's too small. Slim pickings. Most of the alchemy works goes to Bofferin. Oh well, let's go on with finding work for now. I'll make the money work somehow. Sounds like a great idea. I was too tired to move. Let's head back home, please. Here's my place is trash. Oh, there. Let's go back to rest. I want to go hang out and I don't care if she's a rival. I want to go hang out in this Atelier because she's a bean. She's a feisty bean, so I love her already. I love that load icon. Can I draw water yet, or is the game going to still be like, oh, we don't need to do that yet? Okay. We're home. Totally exhausted. Oh, welcome back. Working on my north, you've got to dig up the trash. Oh, fair, dude. Took you long enough. Dad, you're synthesizing? I thought you were painting down in the basement. I started painting and it gave me a recipe idea, so I switched to experimenting at once. I see. What is it to have such a carefree father? Nothing changes. Anyway, Dad, we need some sleep. Just try to keep it down, will you? Sure thing. Rest well, both of you. Good night. I can't help thinking about all those people that... Oh, I wanted to try and listen out to see how she says it, because I think it's Bofferin, but I'm not sure. I know. The greatest atelier in the kingdom, totally different from our little own atelier. Tell me, Sue, do you really think we can take the title of greatest for ourselves? Hey, come on, don't start getting cold feet now. To run the greatest atelier in the kingdom, together as a family. That was our promise with Mum, right? I know, you're right. I'm just so hungry, I lost my resolve for a moment. We've got plenty of hard work again tomorrow, in order to keep our promise to Mum. Good night, Sue. Yeah, good night, Lydie. I pronounced it Bofra. What the fuck was that? What happened, Dad? Are you okay? Yeah, look, girls, another brilliant failure. You can't joke your way out of this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. But I'll let you clean this up. See you later. This motherfucker made a run for it. Dummy Dad. I can't believe this. She needs to stop saying dummy daddy. She needs to fucking stop saying it. Boy, something we can say to him, is there? Let's just tidy this up. That was a sound effect. If I ever heard it one, yeah. See, Lee, and hope well. Huh? Oh, what's down in the basement? Never heard of top explosion. Look at all these fragments of gunk, Lydie. Tell me, Sue, can you hear anything odd? Also, like, I'm at that point where I've voiced so many Atelier characters where I've given them a softer female voice. They're gonna all sound the same. So these two have a slight, like, royal accent, if you haven't gathered, just so then I can try and differentiate them when Fierce eventually shows up again and Sophie eventually shows up again. And suddenly there's 4 softly spoken characters I'm doing in a together. They can all still sound sort of different. Tell me, Sue, can you hear anything odd? What? Nope, not a thing. Sad, but anything. There, again, it's coming from the basement. There's someone down there? The basement? But only Dad is allowed down there. Hold on, though. This gives me a great idea. Would you say you're taking a little trip down there? A male cast voice group, fair. Much better. Lydie hears a voice in her head. They talk to her. They understand. They talk to her. Right? We're not allowed to. You mean our dad, who always breaks his promises? He doesn't get a right to complain after yesterday. Well, I'm not sure about this. Yeah, I can definitely tell which one's the outgoer of the twins here. You know. Well, if he gets angry, you can just blame me. Come on, we're doing this. I'm sorry, Dad. So we're going to be a bad girl for a bit. Infiltrate the basement. Don't mind our little intrusion, Daddy dearest. Dad, I'm so sorry about this. Now then, just what's his dummy daddy doing down here every day? There's pro wrestling. There's a song pro wrestler named Randy Orton. Title is Voices, and it's by Referee. I don't. I know basics of like the pro wrestling circuit from friends who are super into it, but I've never taken that much of an interest. I think I've spoken about it in a previous stream like ages ago, but it's one of those things where I'd always be willing to try and give it a go. It's just in the right timing and right position to kind of sit down and watch it, and that just never comes up because I'm always busy with something else. Oh, what a lovely painting. You're kidding. Dad painted this? I don't know. I think we need to look at it a little closer. Can't wait for it to suck them in like paper, like Super Mario. What's going on? It feels like I'm about to pass out. Or knock them out. That works too, I guess. Oh, is it actually going to suck them in like Mario? I think it did. I was joking, but oh well. Oh, never mind. Let's go. Project 8, Atelier 19. Holy shit. 19. What are we on now? Like, because after this, right, you got the Riser trilogy, but then you had Sophie 2, and then you had what, another Ireland game. So 20, 21, 22, 23. We're on like 24, I think. Jeez. I like how they call the project just 8 and whatever number it is, though. That's kind of, it puts into perspective how goddamn many there is. Wait a minute. Also, this is a weird intro. It's not really. We was playing the regular versions. No, I've been playing the DX versions. I just don't put DX in the title because I didn't feel the need. Why? Is there a noticeable difference between normal and DX? Oh yeah, shit, Suelle is very cocky, even in the artwork. Oh, Furious looks all grown up! Oh no, go back to Furious, I want to see more of her! Alt. Sophie is even more beautiful as always. Ilmera's back in this game as well, that's sick. Clutch looks cool. And Roger. No Christians involved, fair. Atelier, Lydie, and Suelle. I can't eat a bowl of puny. I just can't. For a split second, I thought the music was going to go full into like Blue Reflection. I know I've been talking about it a lot this stream already, but that first note, like, yeah, Blue Reflection 1 came out just before this, and I can kind of tell. Amazing. This is totally incredible. I've never seen anything like this. That one costume cut time from the DX version. Yeah. Yeah, so I know that was a DX costume. In the same vein that I have like 1,000,001 extra recipes when I started the game that I can't make for forever, and I'm like, I wonder if they're DLC/DX things. I have a whole bunch of recipes that are like from level 20 to level 40 alchemies that require like expensive materials that I'm definitely not getting anytime soon. Me either. My heart is racing so fast. I think we might have another explosion on our hands. What is it, Sue? Are we dreaming? There's like a lot of the painting, doesn't it? I don't think this is a dream. I can't remember getting sucked into that painting. Then you remember hearing the ba 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 ba. I think Second Light may have poached their environment idea from Lydie and Suelle. Maybe. I mean, I'll find out more for myself as I go. But I don't mind them reusing or re-exploring or that sort of idea in general, because they make fantastic stories around them. And the fact they pump out games as quickly as they do, of course it's going to get reused or inspired or be similar to, you know? Because it'll cut down on development time. And begin sucked into that painting behind her. It's much more fun if it isn't a dream anyway. A mysterious world inside a painting? That's so cool. Like something from a fairy tale. Hey, let's take a walk around. That background track is what I meant about the quality being overall better than Sophie, but with less impactful rock. Yeah, like I noticed it almost immediately when I started, that there's more natural instruments. It's just obviously the reason why synthesized tracks sometimes become more recognizable and more infamous than orchestral is that it's easier to make synthesized tracks like explode, if that makes sense. It's easier to make them loud in your face because you can just crank shit. Whilst orchestra, you have to have certain instruments do certain things, but you have to be careful because if you go too loud or too aggressive, orchestral music will literally crash and burn. It will just become random noise. A good example of what I mean is the true final boss theme of Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns. The 13-minute long boss theme, Gwenevelt. The opening minute of that track is like ear torture. I love the rest of the track, but that first minute is they're trying to be way too loud and way too aggressive and chaotic with the orchestra to the point where it starts to crash and burn, and it starts to like, I'm just sitting there and just go, whoa, what the fuck, and I have to take my earphones out. So the Infurious OST was built with ambience over power, and that's good. My favourite soundtrack this year has been Blue Reflection, and that game's Blue Reflection 2, and that game's 90% atmosphere and atmospherical calm beats. It's like 90% piano and violin. Fairy tale, let's take a walk around. Who knows what other sights we'll find, and we do need to find a way home as well. I'm with you. I bet we can find something really fun in here. Oh, there's still a bit of a boom 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 in the back. This place really is mysterious. Ah! Do you think there are worlds like this inside every painting? There's mysterious and painting in the same paragraph. 13, my favorite track is the Lightning miniseries is 13 2. It's called Limit Break. Oh, I love you could name any you could tell me any track from 13-2 is your favorite track, and I'd go, yeah, I get it. You could say literally any track from 13-2 is your favourite, and I'd understand, because 13-2's soundtrack is filled with nothing but bangers. In my opinion, I love 13-2. In my like list from like favourite to least favourite Final Fantasy, 13-2 is genuinely in my top 5. 13-1 and Lightning Returns aren't, but 13-2 is right up there. I love it. I'm not so sure about that. I don't think I could paint anything as fabulous as this. Me neither. I guess you need to be good at painting as Dad to make this. Yeah, I don't think... Oh, who's that? Look, a woman! Why are there even people in here? Hello, excuse me? Oh, that rude... She's gone. Maybe she couldn't hear me. Right, come on, Lydie. Let's go after her. She might be able to tell us what this place is. Good plan. Rank the entire Final Fantasy series and recomplete 7 remake tag. This is the PS1. Oh, with the sole exception being 13-3 or 13 Lightning Returns, just because I really didn't like the time limit in that game. I have beaten every single Final Fantasy game. Minus like 1 or 2 spin-offs, I guess. The only other spin-off I really want to get through and play at some point... Oh, I love the footprints of the paint, because we're in a painting. That's really, really cool. Is Chocobo Mystery Dungeon. I really want to play that at some point, but that's... I don't know when I'll get to that. Just because I love the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and I don't know if it's the exact same team or if it's just a similar name, but it's just definitely the same gameplay style when I looked at footage for it, and I'm like, okay, sign me up. But yeah, I love the Final Fantasy series, and I grew up with it, so I played every single one. At the bottom of the list is, as a motorbike passes by, technically Lightning Returns, but I always feel bad counting it because I'd never finished it. Final Fantasy 2, because it's the grindiest. And 8, but only because of the first half. The second half of 8 is great, but the first half drags and really wears the whole thing down. Also, the best part of the painting was the painting style. Yeah, I was going to say that I love the art style here. It's a lot brighter and colourful, even compared to the other two Mysterious games, which are also bright and colourful. Meanwhile, on the opposite end of the list for my Final Fantasy, so I said 13-2 is right up there. 15's up there once it was finished. When it first came out, it wasn't, but after Royal Edition, it kind of crept up. Because it's 12 his favourite, and I completely understand it, because Final Fantasy 12 is a single-player MMO. It's literally designed as an MMO world with MMO mechanics and systems and everything and quest logs and whatnot. Just it's a single-player game. So the scale of the game is gargantuan. It's one of the biggest Final Fantasies in the series. To 100% it takes nearly as long as 100%ing a Xenoblade game. It literally takes hundreds of hours. And the fact that it's a very traditional fantasy story, I mean very fucking traditional, that even has a deliberate harshness to the audio quality of the voices to make it sound like it came out of like an older TV or film sort of thing. It had such an identity and such a style to it, whilst also being front-loaded with content. It was brilliant. My only problem with it is that the actual main story, when you know what you're doing, isn't that big. It's just everything around it. About 15 was the Arden Chapter, though I'm biased towards his chapter types. Yeah, and the most depressing thing is that Arden's Chapter was going to be the start of a second series of DLC that was going to lead to an alternate ending to the story. But then the director left the company, so it got shut down. And so only Arden came out. The episode Luna never happened, episode Aranea never happened, and episode Noctis never happened. And I was like, damn, I would have been up to playing as Aranea. I would have been up to actually giving a shit about Luna. But the final version we got of 15, I'd count as kind of in my top 5. Final Fantasy IV, absolutely. It's my favourite Final Fantasy. 7, absolutely. And 7 Remake by extension, but that's just because I like the contrast between base 7 and whatnot. Because I don't like Strangers of Paradise, to be honest. That's fair. That's one of the other spin-offs I haven't played, but I've no interest. I played all the alpha and beta tests as they rolled around, and every single time it never impressed me. So I was like, I'm good. I said, in terms of main series, I've played them all, but in terms of spin-off, there are a couple I just never bothered with. That said, speaking of spin-offs, the Final Fantasy Rhythm game coming out next February, I am 100% down for that. I don't know if I'll be able to get a stream in because it comes out in fucking February, and I swear to God, everything comes out in February. I think it comes out literally the same weekend as Rise of 3, and they're both £50 games, so, you know, yeah, but one of my buddies online sang his praises. The thing is, like, my thing is that it's the same thing as people that like Neo. I get why you like it, but the loot grind drains the life out of me, and what didn't help as well is that, Strangers of Paradise dialogue, it's somewhere between so bad it's funny and just straight up bad. I forgot to do a Rise of 3. Yeah, open world Atelier, can't wait. I genuinely don't see how that game's gonna run on the Switch, considering I think Rise of 2 had trouble. There's a 3 Nepsis v Sisters to deal with. Is Sisters v Sisters? They just said early next year, right? They haven't actually given a date. They better not put it in fucking February. But like a Dragon Ishin is in February, so you know Yakuza fans are getting their fill in February as well. There was someone that made a list. I think it was like Game Rant made a list, and it just said, "Please stop! Please don't release anything more in February. We're full." I don't know much progress here at all. Is this some kind of speed walker? I think she's just got really long legs. Come on, try to pick up the pace. Is it early next year? But they also said winter in 2023. It was... true. What the fuck is that? There's also an extremely, extremely good chance Street Fighter 6 will come out in February. It's unconfirmed, but with the only exception being Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which might I add sold terribly, every single Capcom fighting game over the past 14 or 15 years have launched in February. So Street Fighter 6 is almost definitely a February launch, because the only time they broke away from it, the game sold terribly, and they pay attention to that shit. Yup. What's that thing? A black monster. It's a bit different from a puny. Lydie, can you fight? Sure, I'm pretty scared, but I'll do my best. At this point, I've given up playing fighting games. That's a shame. I find fighting games nowadays have become so much more approachable than they ever used to be. Couldn't even finish Strive because I've been out of the loop for like 20 years. Even if someone's been in the loop, Strive is a little over the place with its story. Its main focus, and it's the same thing that kind of affects a lot of things in the industry. Strive's biggest push and its biggest priority of its story is ending it. Its ultimate top priority is wrapping up its story. But there's a shit ton to cover. In the same vein as Kingdom Hearts 3 had a shit ton to cover and wanted to wrap the story, and so some of it felt a little clunky, some of it felt a bit jumpy, some of it just didn't quite add up. It's the same thing with Strive. I think they nail it where it matters just enough at the end, but there is a lot of things where it's like, wait, why aren't we talking about this? Why did this only get touched on for a second? And so if you haven't played the rest of the series, not only are you already left behind because Guilty Gear lore is crazy, you don't get the full picture that leads to these conclusions. The main reason why the game is called Strive is because it's striving for change. It's changing away from the original Guilty Gear by ending the original stories to give to open the doors to new directions. It's why Bridget is trans. She's changed. It's why Testament's now non-binary. He's changed. It's why Kai stepped down as king. He's strived for change. It's the same deal for everyone. Everyone's got things going on that are changing who they are. Baiken no longer wants revenge. She's let it go. She's changed. She's strived to be a better person. Strive isn't like a fancy word that they're using. It's because the company is literally striving for change with the franchise. But Stu isn't appealing solely for its gravy. Yeah, true. Is that a new director? I disagree. Because it's Daisuke's baby. Guilty Gear isn't Guilty Gear without Daisuke, full stop. He invented it. He designed every character. He created the actual beginning of the story and built it from there. He used to voice the main character. He does all the fucking music. Daisuke is literally the heart and soul of Guilty Gear, and it's his most cherished baby. If he leaves the directory chair, Guilty Gear stops happening. Full stop. And that's not an exaggeration. It's literally his departure would end Guilty Gear because it's his fucking baby. Like I said, it's his love child. He designed everything. He made everything. He directed everything. He was the one-man army who wanted to make his high school / college project a reality, and he did. It's the exact same reason why people are terrified BlazBlue isn't going to continue, because it's the exact same story with Mori. I didn't mean to rhyme there. Mori is the exact same way with the BlazBlue series. So the fact that he's left Arc System Works has given us terrifying fear that BlazBlue's ending with him. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, there are some parts in Strive's story that I think could have been expanded on or changed better, but at the same time, I'm like, this is Daisuke. If Daisuke says this is white now, I'd say okay. If Daisuke says this is the way it is now, I say okay, sure. Like, I don't question it because it's his baby. He can do what he wants with it. So everything being done by a large team, I never considered that. Yeah, no. Guilty Gear's been around since the 90s. You know, back where independent-ish devs who had a heart and passion to do something could, without having to burn billions of dollars. Yeah, you know. Daisuke and Mori both came from that era, which is why, like, their games are their most cherished babies. And the fact that both of them had carried on for so long is a testament to their passion. But yeah, and he still does all the music. He doesn't sing the songs, he has a professional singer, but he composes all of them. He does all the instrumentation for them. He writes the lyrics for them. He just has someone else sing them. He used to do the singing as well, but that was when he had less money. Now he has more money, he has an actual singer come in. It's like, it was after Guilty Gear, I think it was X, was when he actually got an official voice actor for Soul Bad Guy, because before then he was the voice of Soul. And I still to this day wish there was a voice option to let Daisuke voice Soul again, because I actually kind of preferred his voice because it was so amateur, because he wasn't a voice actor, he was a game director suddenly going Gunflame. You know, like still, I relate to having be a vital part of your work. I also respect getting people to the end of the story. Even me if it's a mechanic, but I can't get into Strive, and that's honestly fine. Genuinely, that's honestly fine. Not every fighting game's for every person, and a lot of them can be extremely alienating, even when they're trying to be open. Strive is the easiest Guilty Gear to get in the series, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still Guilty Gear at its core. And Guilty Gear is a extremely intimidating powerhouse of mechanics. And if you're not into it on like a casual perspective, the game will be overwhelmingly unfun. And that's just the bottom line. It's the same with every Guilty Gear. If you don't enjoy what you play at first, everything else will so overwhelm you so much you just have no fucking interest. Because I used to be the same. The reason why I shifted my perspective is that I played a lot of other fighting games that I ended up getting into, and then eventually came back to it with a fresh pair of eyes and more experience, and ended up enjoying it more. I have new appreciation for GG knowing what I do now. Yeah. But it's the same reason why anytime there's a new DLC character, everyone gets super excited, because we're excited to see what Daisuke has plans for the next step sort of thing. I do think, however, after Strive, Daisuke will probably take a back step. I think he'll still oversee it, but I think he'll let other people take charge, because like I said, Strive is trying to end the original story to let a new generation come in. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if his way of doing that is by taking a step back and letting other people try it in whatever comes next. To be honest, to give you another modern comparison, it's a near identical story with Tekken. Harada has been the director and lead cause and creator of Tekken since the original, and is still in Bandai Namco overseeing the Tekken franchise. He just doesn't direct every single detail of it anymore. He oversees. Does Zato 1 improve? Well, I mean, he now has a synchronism with Eddie, the demon in him, instead of Eddie just possessing his dead body. Zato's alive again, I think. Keyword I think, I'm honestly not sure. Seems to love his past. I mean, Zato and Milia's stories have yet to really be concluded, but then they're on talking terms. So it's like clearly something's eased up between Exard and Strive. They're not out to Milia's isn't out to kill him anymore. They were on talking terms in Strive's story because they were working together. But they don't show that middle piece of them reconciliating. It's just implied that they reconciled, which is what I mean by like there's some parts where they kind of like jump the gap a little bit in Strive's story where they want to wrap things in a neat bow. They don't show that bit. They just imply it, and you just go, oh, okay. Or like how Bedman's little sister, she could only live in the dream realm. She had no ability to survive in the real world, yet in Strive's story, she's in the real world and breathing. So it's like, how did that happen? They use it to wrap up not only her story, but Baiken's, but they jumped a small step there because there was a little bit of lore that they just kind of ignored to make their story work. With Daisuke, you never seem to approach his own creation. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm the same with my books. I treat all my books like my babies, like my children. Like, I am extremely proud of my work, even if that can be a little egocentric, I'm aware. As in, it's not 100% the same, because Harada's always had a supporting team, and always had like extra artists and story writers, etc. But Harada has been like the godfather of Tekken since its inception as well, since Tekken 1. And he's still in the company, now advertising Tekken 8. Anyway, battles. Go all the battles, get them to 0. You can use your items, or you can also heal. Oh, okay, the menu is a bit cool. Oh god, she looks so angry. Look at that. Why has she got 2 guns? Oh, and you can check stats here. That's cool. So what skill have you got? Quick trigger. Oh my god. Morning, John. Oh boy, the battle mechanics. Okay, we haven't made anything yet. I like the HUD. One point of experience, and that bar didn't move. Oh, we start at level 3. That's something, I guess. Mechanics you can abuse so badly if you know what you're doing. Well, yeah, at the end of like Furious, it became the exact same, like, I don't want to say problem because I know it's part of the core, but the exact same kind of scenario as like late game Sophie, where like every end game challenge, they could be like 15 or 20 levels above me. What did I do to beat them? Item spam. I'd use an item that would manually lower their level by a chunk, and then spam the crap out of lightning bombs to slow them down. Or eventually it was like the globe things because they did insane damage. So enemies that, like, I was like level 30 and like level 55, I'd still come out on top because of item spam. And I was like, it's just this... The items are so powerful in this series. so that you like levels become near worthless after a while. It's why I beat like got that true ending, so to speak, so quickly. I feel because that dragon I just destroyed. Yeah, Rise is pretty much the same. Yeah, I remember items being strong in Riser as well. But the point that I keep making is that in Riser, I felt like my skills had more value as well. So it wasn't just items. I had the skills as well to do little things here and there that felt like had worth. Whilst in Furious, the only skill that I actually went back to was Ilmera's like group-wide Fire Smash because it did absurd damage, and Leonie's like Arrow group-wide because it hit twice. It makes it easier than Mysterious. Yeah, fair. There was no squeak and no bite. Huh. It made me jump though. Yeah, it was like we couldn't lose. But where's that woman gone to now? Ah, she vanished while we were fighting. That's a shame. I really wanted to ask her about this place. Hey, what is it? Found something? Look at this. Do you think we could use this as materials for alchemy? I think you're right. Oh, that's Oscar's shock animation. Hey, I recognize that animation anywhere. What are you guys? That's why her front arm is so far out in front of her, because it was to compensate for Oscar's belly in Sophie. I know this statement of mine is very common, but the painting world's my favourite thing. Yeah, so I love the art style for him, so I hope they really help make this game stand out from the crowd from the other Mysterious games. You're right, I was so caught up in chasing that woman, I only just noticed. It's great, let's get gathering. About Lydie and Suelle. Never seen any of these before. Imagine the items we could make with these. Sounds great, let's collect them all, as many as we can. I kind of like that there's paint on the edge of the screen, but at the same time, like, my brain will almost immediately start to get distracted by it, because this is a reused asset, this is from Furious. Like, I know my brain will eventually, like, fully default to just being, like, something's on the screen, and it will start to annoy me. Hopefully it won't too much. So does this game, with it being chapters, actually have more of like a traditional like dungeon structure? Or is this the wrong way? Oh, whoops. As in, like, this chapter will have this dungeon. We go into chapter 2 and we unlock the next dungeon. Or is it going to start to become more like Sophie, where it just starts opening up a shit ton of areas? Speaking of Sophie, when am I going to bump into her again? We need to go all these areas of dreamlight. A mix. Oh, okay. So it's going to be like main dungeons for this chapter's progressions, but then like side areas. That should be enough. Really found some really rare stuff. To sort of compare it, it's almost like, because it's been on my mind so much recently, and like the mystery dungeon games, where you have like the main plot dungeons, but you unlock a bunch of side dungeons along the way that you can detour to for a while. Should be enough. Found some really rare stuff. Me too. Never seen these, even in an encyclopedia. I can't wait to start synthesizing. Me too. Just one more thing, Lydie. You notice too, soon. Just how are we going to get out of here? Standing around thinking won't solve anything. Let's start walking and see what happens. Where's the map pop up? Yeah. Promise with mum number 5. Don't worry, just do it. Well said. If we search a bit more, I'm sure we'll find a way back. Nothing. Nothing, apart from a mysteriously suspicious, deep-looking hole. Ugh. If this is all we can find, I guess that means this is what we've been looking for. I'm not sure about that logic, but very well. I'm scared, but now is the time to be brave. Well said. We can do this together. 1, 2, 3. Psychopaths. Psychopaths. Absolute hooligans. They just jumped off the edge, assuming maybe it'll work out. Just my imagination. Still hiding her face. Oh, it worked though. What are you doing down here? Morning, Dad. What a great nap. What about all that stuff we picked up? Girls, how many times have I told you not to come down here? Awesome, they're all in my basket. Really? Definitely wasn't a dream. Are you even listening to me? I don't mind you coming down here, to be honest, but it was real. Which means, wow, they really don't give a shit about their pops, do they? We've got some sympathizing to do. You said it. Dad, out of the way. Out of the way, out of the way, you say. You'll make me cry talking to your old man like that. Reason two girls, no picnic on it. Well, it's okay, you're kind of a deadbeat anyway. And that's me being nice. He's kind of a shit dad. He's not as bad in my mind as Fierce's parents. But he's kind of not a good parent. They do, they're just ribbing as a way to show affection. Yeah, I hope so. Right, if we use these materials, I bet we'll create something incredible. Sure, I bet. Let's hope we can do it. This is what I mean, like, all of these are here, and I'm pretty sure they're either like old DLC items or DX stuff. I mean, gunpowder. So, and I've also got a Dunkel Heights and a Dragon Scale of S quality for both of them, which is absurd. Oh, I hope the grid comes up soon. I miss it already. I like being able to make things a bit more. We did it, and look at the quality. I know. Just using the materials from the painting allows us to make an item this wonderful. If we can make items like this, becoming the greatest atelier in the kingdom isn't a dream. Eh, it's a pretty well-made item. Where did you buy that from? We spent our money? We made this. Why spend our money? Sorry, I can read. Girls, please, enough joking around. I know you're getting better at this. We aren't joking, okay? We made it from materials we picked up inside that painting. Inside the painting, you mean? Yes, the beautiful one hanging in the basement. We got close to it, felt a bit funny, and when we woke up, we were inside it. Then we used materials we picked up from inside there and made this amazing item. Pretty amazing, right? There were some monsters in there too, but it was a wonderful place. Hey, I know. Why don't you come back in with us, Dad, and collect some more? Lydie, Sue, you're not allowed to go into the basement, you hear me? No way, you're joking, right? But there are so many incredible materials in there. Sue's right, Dad. If we use materials from that painting, our atelier can be the greatest. I've made my decision. Feeling funny looking at a painting, monsters inside it? Come on. There's some other explanation. Some other paint made you lightheaded, most likely. The basement is dangerous anyway, so it's off limits. Now, off to bed. Hey, Dad! Dad, come on! Look here! We've got all the materials we picked up right here. It's no good. He's gone. I'm pretty exhausted. Let's just call it a day. I have to be careful because my original accent when I was younger is going to really slip in. It's already slipping in. But the moment I decide to do a more posh voice for these two, I've noticed my natural accent is just like dominating. I say that this is my natural accent. I mean, it's like my old natural accent when I was younger. I want to take a look, but the basement has been locked up tight. He works fast when we don't want him to. I guess we don't have to go back. We don't get to go back into the picture. I wanted to talk to that woman too. Don't you think she looked a bit like Mum from behind? Yes, I think that too. But it can't possibly be her, right? An accent. Now, I'm not that fussed. I'm just more like... I'm just more commenting on myself. I like both my accents I used, both the one I used to have and the one I have nowadays. Why I say that, it's less accent, more accentless. It's just got twangs of Britishness in it now. Whilst before it used to be a lot more revealing of my class, so to speak. It used to be much more middle class. I guess I no longer have. I wish we could see her again. Come on. Why do I have to do this? Not you, who else? Come on, keep those hands moving. You're as bossy as ever. Alright, I'm doing it. The real fun starts tomorrow. Chapter 2. A mentor and an official notice. I don't like how much space is between the I and the C in official. Am I the only one? That's a more refined. The more I learned, the more I lost my accent, but I sometimes bring it up for entertainment purposes. Yeah, I do. I did it a lot in Blue Reflection, because there were some characters that were a bit more tight-lipped. And so I would drift into my original accent, which is more pronounced and more sophisticated and has more of that, the Queen's English. Who their mentor is. It worked, but it's just not the same. I mean, we could use those painting materials. I know, but I don't think we have a choice. We just have to improve gradually. How's it working out for us so far? There's a limit to what we can teach ourselves. I think we already reached it too. That isn't much help. We need a proper teacher. A master. A master in this city? Anyway, all that work has made me hungry. Very well, then I'll go get something ready. Ah, sorry, we're all out of food. We'll just have to go shopping. We got money from those jobs, so no problem. Hold it. What's going on? All our money's gone. No way! Have we been robbed? Hey, Dad. Did you use our money by any chance? I wonder. I can't quite recall. I did see some nice looking paints, but did I buy them? So we do all your work for you, and you take our money and spend it on yourself. You fuck. He's not a good dad. The parents in the Atelier series seem to have consistently not be good. Ah! What the fuck? I just fucking kicked the shit out of him. What now? We don't even have money to buy food now. We need to make some coal quick. You said it. Get Daddy and let's go look at the plaza. God, my bad. I'll see if there's some old shoes or something and I'll get you some food. Just give me a moment. Dad, just be quiet, please. Of course, I'm sorry. That was fucking... I did... also, no... because I'm used to Furious, where like when Furious got pissed off at her parents, she shouted at them. Like, what's that? They get pissed off. What do you do? Fucking kick the shit out of them. You know? Oh, I have bombs. I have a lot of bombs in storage. What the fuck? That was, that really caught me by surprise. I don't know why that tickled me so much. I think it's because I think throughout the Atelier games, I've been so used to everyone being soft touches. Like, even like the more gritty, like gruff characters being really kind of soft-hearted. So to have Suelle be so rough, you know, like be so rough around the edges, so gritty, so like, yeah, fuck you kind of attitude about everything, it just tickles me. Oh dear. I should actually save. I've yet to save in this game. There we go. Oh, I got a trophy for that. I just thought I'd been one sister for too long, so I thought I'd change sisters. So, what are we doing? Trying to make money? Let's go back to the notice board and get away with this, Dad. I second that. Daughter I'd like to have, so as a daughter I would likely would have. Yeah, with how like much attitude I used to be, I can absolutely see. Firstly, me when I eventually find someone in life, finding someone who's got a lot of like tude about them, but equally end up having kids that have got it as well. But I love this. This is still my favorite thing, that she will just repeatedly kick the shit out of things, and she does like an ara kick, and when you break something. I don't think this has as much range on hitting enemies, but I'll live with that. there's that main theme of them again. There are a lot of people out again today. Has the notice been posted? I hope not. It doesn't mean another hike in taxes. Fuck, that's relatable. Alright, let's see what we got today. Alchemists wanted. The Kingdom of Ariarhod has decided to proactively attract more alchemists to work here. We are therefore happy to announce the implementing of a new Atelier ranking system. Ateliers will receive financial aid and a variety of other privileges depending on their rank. The rank will be determined via examinations. Oh god, not more exams. I barely survived the first exam. All who wish to take part and register their atelier should apply at the castle. So, do you know what that means? Yes, the system is incredible. If we increase our rank, we can make lots of money. We'll officially be the best atelier in the kingdom. Hold on, did you just say the best atelier in the kingdom? Yep, surely you've noticed that hardly any customers come to our atelier. Of course, they all go to Bofferin. Boffery. I'm going to say Boffery. I know, but it's the exams that matter in this system. Actual ability, not customer numbers. I see what you mean. We can win on rank even if we aren't popular. Exactly. If we reach the highest rank, we will become the greatest in the kingdom, no doubt. I see. Amazing. Come on, Sue. Go and sign up right away. Don't have to tell me twice. To the castle. We'll be the greatest before you know. Oh, we can just go straight in. Oh, she's already there ahead of us. I know she's supposed to be the rival and everything, but I love her. I love her attitude, and it's like the last scene I've seen her, and I love her design. But I'm a sucker for red, so. Oh my! If it isn't Lydie and Suelle, just what are you doing here? Hey, Lucia. We're here to register for the Atelier ranking system. I see. I thought you'd probably come, just lagging behind me again. Lucia Boffery. I think this would be a bit much for you two. You need to pass an exam just to sign up. Is that so? Are you here to take it too, Lucia? Of course not. The glorious Atelier Boffery is exempt from such petty examinations. We had you create the exam after all, there's no point in you doing it. Huh. What was that about the glorious Atelier Boffery again, Lucia? Mireille! You didn't need to tell them that! Ah, I'll see you later. Alright. She's a tsundere of the group, got it. Tsundere of an attitude. Lucia's always good for a laugh. So, what do we have to do first? Before signing up, can you introduce yourselves? I'm Mireille. Okay, Mireille, by the way. I wanted to wait until how she said it. Oh, Jesus. She's got that ara pose. Mireille Ariarhod. I handle all general affairs of this kingdom. That includes our new Atelier ranking system. Do you know who she kind of reminds me of? Is it Lucamine, the main villain from Gen 7 Pokemon? I don't know why, but my brain immediately went to the evil lady from the Aether Foundation in like Sun and Moon. Amazing! You handle all of them? Really? Sorry, I mean, I am called Lydie. And I'm Suelle. It's nice to meet you, Mireille. I stop with the Gen 4. That's fair. Gen 4 is my favourite generation. I know Gen 5 was kind of polarising because how story-driven and linear it was, but I still liked it. It was Gen 6 onwards where it fell apart, because I just don't think Game Freak know how to handle 3D. And it's been evident that they're not sure how to handle 3D ever since. Gen 6 was by far the worst game in the series. Gen 7 had good ideas, and there's a lot about it I did genuinely like, but just kind of had some trouble here and there. And so I just kind of like ummed and ahed about it too much. And Gen 8, I don't own a Switch. So I got to keep an eye on the weather because my mother dearest stuck washing out and it's supposed to rain later today, so I need to keep an eye out. The moment it goes to rain, I'll have to pause and race it in. Because it was like it was towel nights last night, as in washing all the towels and whatnot, so of course they take forever to dry. Like Gen 4 Black might rub me the wrong way. Honestly, if you ever give Pokemon another shot, don't play Black and White 1, play Black and White 2. The U-turn Black and White 2 takes after the first game, I think will genuinely surprise you. I love Black and White 2. It's my third favourite mainline game. Next to the Gen 2 remakes and Pokemon Platinum. You're twins, aren't you? Lucy already told me a bit about you, actually. It sounds like the three of you are good friends. We're not exactly close friends. I mean, we've known her since we were kids. Quite jealous of that. I don't have any friends who I grew up with. I raised next year and I'm going to buy more consoles. That's fair. So I still need to get a Switch. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for like set games to come out on the Switch and then I'll get it. If they port Zelda Twilight Princess to the Switch, I'll be tempted. If they remake Mystery Dungeon 2 on the Switch, I'll get it. That's what's been keeping me from Nintendo products. Money. Yeah, Nintendo don't believe in lowering prices. I think even the Switch is still nearly full price. It's barely gone down and the console's going to be 6 years old soon. I'm jealous of that. I don't have any friends who I grew up with. Anyway, should we get down to business? As Lucia already mentioned, you need to take an exam before you can register for the system. We heard that part. What kind of exam is it? Aren't you in a hurry? I'll tell you now, don't worry. Here it is. Create dream paintbrushes. Recipe will be provided. Adaptation permitted. In order to be admitted to the Atelier ranking system, a minimum level of competence is required. This examination will be a test of your competence. Signed, fancy name. On Advanced Wars and Golden Sun. That's entirely fair. Advanced Wars coming back is badass. It's another franchise I was never really into, but I knew people growing up that fucking lived off it. And loved it so much. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is a big deal. That's really cool. That's coming back. Synthesize dream paintbrushes. We just have to make this? Yes, that's all. We get 3DS for the Phoenix Wright games. I'm still hoping and waiting for the second trilogy to get remastered, because I think it'll happen. Because the original, people forget the original 3 games, although they were GBA games in Japan, they were on the DS when they came to the West and embraced the touchscreen. Which is why they were easy to remaster, because they could retroactively refit it all onto one screen. Following that same template, they can absolutely do that with the 3DS games as well. Key example, I'm pretty sure the first Great Ace Attorney was a 3DS game originally, and that's now a console game. And because that shares the same engine that Phoenix Wright 5 and 6 had, I don't see why they couldn't put the second trilogy on modern platforms. And the reason why I think they will do it is because I think they'll do it to put the public interest back on Phoenix Wright to then announce a 7th game. Because I think a 7th Phoenix Wright is coming. Don't know when, but I think it is coming, and I think it's going to be big. Which is part of the reason why it's taking so long. Because I think it's going to have more cases. Because there's been a lot more games, a lot more detective-esque games with several cases that have come out since Phoenix Wright's inception, that have either done the formula better or just done it different enough that it was a breath of fresh air. Mad Sunny didn't port the other games, and I'm hungry for a Phoenix Wright game. Honestly, Chronicles is the game I like more than the OG. Yeah, and to be fair, it's because Chronicles are the most recent, technically. So they have the most experience in the development, and it shows when you play it that they've got the most experienced. But it's like the most startling contrast to me. It was like after playing the Danganronpa trilogy, it was when I then went back and played the original 3 Phoenix Wright games. I noticed how clunky of a detective formula and how abstract some of the decision making you had to make was in that game. It's about how it's formatted. That's fair. Nice simple test. It's a recipe for dream paintbrushes. It looks fairly tough. I hope we can handle it. If you want to get a rank, you need to prove yourselves. You can adjust the recipe however you like. Just bring an item back here to me, Kay. Sure thing, we'll give it a try. Back to the atelier at once, Lydie. I'm with you. We have to see if we can make it. We'll see you later. That's it, my favourite way to read novels. What do you mean? I haven't got to the Chronicles games in my sort of thing. British fiction is written like a British fic. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. With your Herlock Sholmes in it. Promotion tests. Shit you're going to be doing throughout the course of the game. Because of your exam, we'll handle what the promotion test needs. If you don't understand something, talk to her. Yeah, and they tried to sort of do that a little with the mainline Phoenix Wright, because Phoenix Wright 6 takes place in a different country for most of its runtime. So they could easily do that in a Phoenix Wright 7 and have you be globetrotting. Globetrotting courtroom. Man, you really can't move around much in here, huh? So yeah. No way Herlock Sholmes is a thing, because Japanese still call him Herlock Sholmes. I'm Sherlock Holmes. It's entirely to do with how with copyright. Sherlock Holmes is a copyrighted and heavily enforced copyrighted name in the West. In Japan, they don't give a shit. Which is why they had to change it. It was, I kid you not, the biggest thing that stopped both Chronicles games from coming out to the West for the longest time, because of Sherlock Holmes. Because it's literally like there's next to no copyright or care for it in Japan, and yet it's one of the strictest copywritten things in the world in the West. To such an extent where if you do get the license to him, Sherlock Holmes has to be written in a hyper-specific way, and if you break from it even remotely, you lose the license. Copyright, if Toei is any indication. Speaking of copyright, I took a random fucking copyright strike in the middle of the Furious stream. It wasn't of Furious, no, it was a video I did years ago, where I showcased a track from Octopath Traveler. Square Enix straight up copyright struck it. They didn't claim it, they struck it. And I was like, yeah, thanks guys, you fucks. That video's like 6 years old. I should know because they were shown exactly opposite to the original Holmes. But then, yeah, the reason why they changed the naming in the West is because they would have gotten they wouldn't have been able to release it if they if he was remotely extravagant. He's supposed to be a near robotic, superhuman detective that shows very little weakness. His only weakness is allowed to be his lack of empathy, because he's supposed to be lacking of empathy. Whilst Sholmes in Phoenix Wright, in the Ace Attorney, sorry, is extremely over the top, extremely exaggerated, is campy as hell. He's overly rolled by his emotion. His deductions are batshit insane. He was the epitome of everything that is against that strict copyright. So they had to change the name. And I kid you not, changing one letter is enough to do it. So the only reason I went back to the castle is because there was an exclamation mark and question mark, and I was like, that means there's something important there. All you need to know is that the more robotic Sherlock Holmes is, the happier the copyright holders are. And there's a side quest in the church, let's go over there. Like Sholmes more than the original. Yeah, and that's fair. Sister Grace, hello. Welcome. You're here to pray, of course. Of course not. No harm in trying. It's just so different from what you'd expect. Yeah, that's fair. No harm in trying, even though the Lord is saddened by your lack of faith, I'm sure. Wow, so we've gone from Sophie, who's just shit at attending church, Furious, who doesn't know what a church is, and now these two just straight up say, nah. They're getting less and less religious as they go on. At least you could forgive Furious for being ignorant. Tell me sorry about that. I went a bit of prayer, but Sue, don't blame me. You said praying was boring too, Lydie. Don't say that. That's not true, Sister Grace. It's all right. All children dislike prayer. If you aren't here to pray, are you here to play? What's it going to be today? Tag? Playing house? Sister Grace, please. We're not babies anymore. We're adults now. We've grown out of these childish games. Unrefined, bipolar as fuck, disorganized. Just reads off as someone who's more reliable. But that's what I mean. The reason that's why he's not called Sherlock Holmes. He's called Herlock Sholmes, Because if he was called Sherlock Holmes, they wouldn't be allowed to have that character. They would have to change his name outright. He wouldn't be allowed it because he'd go against everything that's in the Western copyright. Whilst in Japan, the Sherlock Holmes copyright in Japan doesn't give a flying fuck. So they can do what they want with the name. And it's constantly been a problem. Anytime there's a Japanese game that has a Sherlock Holmes in it, it's always been a problem getting them to the West. Because the Japanese devs aren't aware of how ridiculous the copyright system is in the West. They don't think it's that crazy. And then when they actually go do it, they realize how insane it actually is. And how many loops they have to jump through. Dungeon's probably my favorite mechanic ever. Because I haven't played enough of those games. I need to. I will do them on stream. The only reason why I didn't do them straight after streaming the Ace Attorney trilogy was just because I didn't want to burn out. Doing 5 deduction games in a row, because there's 2 Chronicles games in that collection, I just think would have been soul-sucking. I was already feeling it at the end of Ace Attorney 3, and that's one of my favorite Phoenix Wright games. Of course you have, I'm sorry. I've known you since you were small, so it's easy to forget. Very well, if you are adult, then you are here to pray, correct? Yeah, if I get to mystery genre of writing, I avoid Holmes as much as possible. Yeah, it's just not worth the hassle. Make your, do, like, pull an Agatha Christie. Make up your own super detective. That's a bit harsh. I think Agatha Christie is still based on a real person. Well, no, Sue, you know what? I think we are still children after all. You know what? I think you're right. Come on, Sister Grace, let's have some fun. Honestly, I have a board game here if someone gave me. Hold on. Head sister, I'm sorry. We have an emergency missive here from the head. Very well, I'll be there at once. I'm sorry, Lydie, Sue. It looks like I've got some work to do. We'll have to play again next time. Very sorry. Ah, she's gone. It looks like she'll be very busy again today. It can't be helped. She's important. Let's just come again another time. Alright, we went to play the game though. Wait, it's gonna be. She's gonna whip out on his chest, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not. Oh God." Broke a plate yesterday and a cup today. Why do I have to be so awfully clumsy? A story of my life. Pray with me. What? You'd rather not? Oh, I see. I go super detective as much as I would do the opposite. I do a combination between a reliable detective and Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of detective. And that's fair. I mean, that could be interesting. For me, like I kind of stay out of that. Oh, we need a bug net. Oh, so we are starting to catch up to Ryza in terms of things to collect and whatnot. Because Ryza has like a whole bunch of like different things you need to collect stuff, if I remember rightly. So we are starting to catch up to like Ryza's technicalities. Like for me with my writing, I don't really do detective stuff. I might do like mysteries and twists, but I don't have like people figure it out detective. It's like it's the twist of the story. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. As someone who my first experience with Atelier was Ryza, I am seeing it as from that way of seeing like more mechanics creep into it to get to what I remember Ryza being. Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's as the series caught up to where that point is with Ryza. I can see how they got closer to that release. It's like with Furious when you start mining ores with pickaxes. I was like, oh, that reminds me. I don't know where I did. It reminded me of It did remind me of Ryza. So it's like it's that small like tiptoe of technology and testing that Gus did as they worked their way towards it. I think it'll be more interesting when I jump to Sophie 2. You know, when Ryza 1 and Ryza 2 are behind. It's saying there's something in the castle. Is that just because it's part of the exam? And it's just saying, hey, there's something important there? And this is also super reminding me of Atelier Sophie, that there's, you know, the little chibi heads and everywhere in the town. So, yeah. Also, for me, it's like the biggest thing that I'm interested in, it will be hindsight when I get to it. Because firstly, it's been years. The last time I played it was when it came out. Is it after Ryza though? No, I get that, but for me, I wanted to have the whole Mysterious saga be together, and then the Secret Saga be together, because the way we're going, I know we're kind of working through these games at a relatively decent pace, but the way we're going, there's a good chance by the time I finish Ryza 2, Ryza 3 will either be out or close to it. Integration of mechanics, but I've played Ryza 1. My memory might not be all there, but I have beaten Ryza 1 before. It was my first Ryza. When I go back to it, it'll be for comparison to how I feel of it now I have perspective. So I would get that hindsight. So when back 3 years ago, I played through Ryza 1, played it, finished it. I was like, yeah, that's really fun, but then never touched it again. And never touched any Gust game after it. It was only this year that I really got into Gust games properly. And so for me, after this, yeah, I am jumping straight to Sophie 2. And then after Sophie 2, yeah, I will then go back to Ryza to basically, now I have more knowledge sort of thing. Now I have more of an understanding of the series, then see what changes in my opinion, what changes in my perspective. And then Ryza 2 will be blind again, so because I've never played Ryza 2, so I just didn't have interest at the time. And obviously Ryza 3, funnily enough, will be blind because it's not even fucking out yet. I have no idea what to expect. I was disappointed because Our Sisterly Sisters failed to integrate its two split identities. Yeah. I think it's... Because I think we spoke about this before, but I think Sisters v Sisters is an experiment to a larger degree, and so with any experiment, not everything's going to click. And so I'm more curious to see what they learn from Sisters v Sisters in a... And I'm like pointing a gun at Idea Factory when I say this, when they eventually announce a 5th game. So I'm pointing a pistol at their head, and I'm just like, when you eventually announce a 5th mainline game... It has a traditional identity of turn-based, but also has a new gen perspective of ARPGs. Yeah. And I think if they just like go back to the drawing board with some elements of it from what I've seen and what I've heard with Sisters v Sisters, they will nail it in the next game. It's just they needed that stepping stone. They needed to kind of stumble on a few things first to figure out what they needed to do to like nail it later. Which is probably why Sisters v Sisters is not counted as a mainline game, even though we all thought it would be. Integration of restricting AP count. As in, obviously, things like that will change. Like, I think they'll still keep the AP count, but I wouldn't be surprised if they either rework it to make it feel less restrictive, or make it that it's integrated into different things, so its nature and how it works is fundamentally different, so its problems aren't there in the same way. When it was first announced, it shared this in Japan. It shared the same title that only the mainline games had, leading people to suspect it would be a mainline game. Which is why that suspicion was there. And then as time went on and we learned more about it, people was like, oh no, this is a spin-off. It's just a more important spin-off than some of the others because it might affect the future of the franchise. You put in the minority, never thought it'd be a canon title. Yeah, and that's fair as well. So it's, in retrospect, it's easy to identify it as such, but at the time it was kind of like, are they finally fucking pulling the trigger? And not quite yet, but like I said, it gives me more hope for the future. It's it's the easiest way to compare it. I know it's a radically different beast, but the easiest way to compare it is when the Half-Life Alyx came out. Half-Life Alyx is a huge experiment that does different things and is a little smaller and a little like out there and isn't quite Half-Life 3, but you can tell it's a giant engine experiment that lays the foundations that a Half-Life 3 could happen on. Like, that's the easiest way to put it. And that's what it reminds me of, looking at Sisters v Sisters. Half-Life Alyx is one giant experiment. It's a VR game as well, but it's one giant experiment that shows a lot of new threads in new light and changes a lot of things in the formula and reworks one plot detail, which I think was the most critical plot detail stopping Half-Life 3 from happening because they just didn't know how to fucking write around it. Like, it backed them into a real harsh corner. And they absolved that, they changed the narrative of it slightly, and then leave it open. Not everything in Alyx works, but it's clear they are trying new things and taking it a new direction that will lay the groundworks for Half-Life 3 whenever that fucking happens. I know we always joke about how Valve don't believe in the number 3, but I think Half-Life 3 will happen. It's just they needed something to kind of bridge the gap first, and that's what Half-Life Alyx is. And I feel it's the same formula now with Sisters v Sisters. They've been wanting to do something new with the Neptunia mainline for ages. It was clear when V2R came out that they wanted to do something different with the formula compared to just V2. They just don't know what to do with it. And Sisters v Sisters is that first fundamental step in them stepping into their new direction or whatever it's going to be. Well, my second book is to bridge to my later titles. Yeah. You get it, it's the same sort of idea. Like, when I was writing the Marion Vincent trilogy, Book 1 and Book 3 were in the forefront of my mind. Book 2 only came into existence to make it so the jump to Book 3 made sense. Because I the VR craze, use a VR chat spoon. But it wasn't just that. The entire gameplay formula was upended, if you recall. Story beats were changed. Some dungeons were remapped. New tracks were added. Some interactions with characters and what characters you introduced were changed. It was clear they wanted to do something new with it. I still really like V2R. I know a lot of people were kind of against it compared to base V2, but I genuinely love V2R. It's still my favourite Neptunia game. Anyway, it was pretty tough. I guess we have to give Lucia credit for this one. Lucia is a great alchemist, sure, but I can still think we can do this. It's changed for the removal of ascension and bad endings. And I didn't disagree with that idea. I know we spoke about it before, but I genuinely, as much as I get that it took away some of the impact and some of the structure that they were going for, I completely understood why they did it, because I remember rolling my eyes in V2 when it just kind of says, nah, too bad, you're not getting a good ending, see you next time. You know? Like, I got what they were trying to go for, but I don't think it clicked, at least in my opinion, I know it's kind of a hot take, as well as they thought it did. Whilst getting rid of it and making it more of a streamlined thing, I just made it feel more like a natural flow, and then kept the story moving instead of just kind of deadlocking you right near the end. We just need the materials. Should we head out and try to find them right away? Sounds like a plan. We better make sure to take some medicine with us. Look at the actual game being memories of the past, one of my biggest writing pet peeves. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, the outside map. No, open the map. It's L1, the map to go to the outskirts. Outskirts map, where you head areas gathering materials close to the city. Visit a variety of different areas. Oh, so this is the Sophie side of the game showing through. Because we've now just got a bunch of little areas to go explore. Please at least be bigger than Sophie's. I'm not expecting them to be as big as Virus's, but please be a little bit bigger. Great, that takes care of that. Oh, I need some tea. I've saved up to buy this new book. Can't wait to settle down and... Hold on, Sue? Is it just me, or do you feel dissonance to the game story opens as it has just memories? I did, but the reason why I could put it to one side in V2R is because they say it's like a recollection of the story at the start, and then that's the last they bring it up. So I just put it out of my brain. I just didn't really think about it. It's not like the game continuously, like, if it pulled a Persona 5 and continuously, like, cut back to the narrator, or cut back to the, like, you know, cut back to the interrogation room in Persona 5's case, then it starts to be a little bit more dissolving. It seems to be a bit more like, oh yeah, right, we're doing this constant memory of the past shit, right. But the fact that it only brings it up at the start, I just left my brain. I just stopped thinking about it. I just focused on the main story I was playing and enjoying. The only crime I had with V2R that I genuinely didn't like is that one particular voice line, because of some coding bug, didn't make it into the console version. Well, it didn't make it into like the 1.0 version of V2R that was in the original V2, and because Idea Factory don't believe in releasing patches to the console versions, it never came out. And that's Uni saying freeze, bitch. That particular voice line glitched in the 1.0 version and doesn't play. And it's such a fucking crime. I missed that line. It's like her just saying freeze, bitch, and I was just like, that's perfect, and it doesn't play. They've patched it. They patched it on the PC version, so it actually says it again now. But because the console version of Idea Factory games never get patches no matter what, they never fixed it. So you play the PS4 version of V2R, tough shit. You don't get Uni saying freeze, bitch. And I was just like, I remember seeing a tier list once of it was like characters most likely to swear, and they put Uni into never swears, and I just went, are you forgetting she says freeze, bitch? She absolutely says fuck, she's absolutely probably says fuck off screen at some point. Hold on, Sue? Yes? What is it, Lydie? What do you think? This? Oh, I just made that. Then why is it lying around here? Where's something set it off? Not to mention leaving stuff scattered about like this is why you never have it when you need it. Equipment items. Items are worthless if you don't equip them. Okay, so item equip. Oh, harvest equip as they call it now. You now make stuff. Choosing which items to make to show off your skills as an alchemist. I'm not just talking about bombs. Try not to leave any of your stuff lying around, okay? Yes, fine. Sorry. I enjoyed the V2R as the OST in its post-game. Yeah, to be honest, the only part of the post-game I didn't like was the Nameless Dungeon. You know, the one where it's the entire layout of it is like pitch black with white lines and there's no map and you have to feel your way through it. That dungeon either takes me 10 minutes or 10 hours, I swear to God, every time I go through it. I either get completely lost or I just stumble to the end immediately. Lydie's right. And considering my vision's partially blinded, like my left eye is slightly blurred, I struggle with depth perception, so that dungeon was even more of a maze for me. I would genuinely miss turns. There's a name. Yeah, the Senmu's Labyrinth. I call it Nameless Dungeon because I get muddled with another game that has a similar thing. I can't remember what game it is, but there's another game that has like it's like a giant endless maze kind of thing, and it's called the Nameless Dungeon, and so I just end up calling any dungeon that reminds me of that the Nameless Dungeon, because you know it reminds me of it. Is level 999 grinding a fucking nightmare? Yeah, I never bothered. I haven't platinum V2R. I got close. I just kind of burnt out eventually. It's the only Neptunia games I've platinumed are spin-offs. Because all the main lines have at least one trophy that just make me groan, and I just have no interest in doing them. Like, the original has that money grind, that sucks. The second game has, hey, good luck getting every single ending, and I'm just like, no. One unique version is very dumb and generic dungeon design. Yeah, because it's the whole, like, data space dungeon design. But instead of it being data space, it's black and white, and there's no map, good luck. It's a new book. This is Lydie's. She just gave me a lecture, but she's no better. Hey, Lydie. Can you hear me, Lydie? You're going to lecture people, at least have the... Oh, jeez. I have a lot of... I'm pretty sure most of this is DLC-esque stuff, or like starting stuff. Starting with 10 ice bombs is beautiful. Please, there we go. Relations, so you see. Credits. Yeah, I think for me it was more I just took one look at it and it's just like, not yet. And that not yet just kept on exaggerating out. Like, I kept on pushing it further and further back, and eventually I was like, I'm not going to do it. And I know, like, the ending grind in the second game wouldn't be too bad either. I just have to save before a set point, do them all, sort of thing, and then just grind the trophies out. Just be careful not to go for an ending that locks out the other ones, because like the Conquest and Holy Sword, I think locks out certain other endings. What's this? Oh, can I actually... Thank God. I was like, can I actually get this resource now? Smithy. Can you make anything for us, or is that not yet? Okay, not yet. Let's get out of here before we listen to that theme. Oh, it's all in a list. Interesting. So it's kind of like Sophie, but not quite.
out of this series, so I 100% all the games, even some multiple times. But I'm also journeying through it again through Steam.
That's fair. I love the games as well, but I love them to beat them. Like, when it comes to, like, going further sort of thing, some of them seem more appealing than others, but some of them, I just take one look at the trophy list, and I'm like, that just sounds like so much grind work, I'm good. Oh, we need some kind of scoop. Oh jeez, they resisted to it, but that's quite a range. Let's not waste the bombs I've only just been given. Let's save them for now. We should be good. We can use this though, since we just got this. Oh wow, it killed it immediately. This is going to be like that because of the Purple Reaper trophy. Like, a singular playthrough will net you 1k kills on average. And how many do you need? Like 10? Ugh. I mean, if you're doing like side quests and covering as much content as possible, like it's what you'd work on in the background. And if the count carries over into NG plus, there's that as well, I guess. But it's just, that's what I mean. Like that sounds like a hassle. I just realized there's no LP system. Well, maybe there is, and it's just because it's early game, they haven't introduced it yet. But I'm not seeing any LP system. And if that's the case, that's a good thing. Playing the same Colosseum battle repeatedly. Oh. Oh, scraps of paper. Oh, I was like, can we rest at the camp? No. I can kick the shit out of this rock, though. And there's an Ara kick at the end. Oh, Aura, sorry. Okay, can't kick that tree. Oh, but this one looks like a thicker tree. Can I kick this one? Brain damage. It's dreadfully boring. I only did it to melt my brain function. Didn't even grind it on stream. It's just that damn boring. Well, yeah, if it's just doing the exact same thing over and over again, you'd only stream it if you're not focusing on it. If that makes sense. Like if you're like talking to chat for the whole thing and you're not even remotely focusing on it, then yeah, it's just a thing you can do in the background. It's what most people do when they're like shiny hunting in a Pokemon game. They just kind of switch off from the game and do a pattern, and then just almost glare entirely at chat. But that's not something everyone can do, because even I find it like my social batteries run out after a while. You do start to tire. Which is why I like playing games that still have things going on, so then when I start to tire, the game can kind of carry it for me. Oh, and there's our inventory. Not that big of an inventory, huh? Thanks for seeing you long. Okay, her kick animation is real slow. I think I will have to swap character again soon. Ow! Kills by only 15. This got me up to 5k, number 5 would still be too much. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, a question mark with a chest under it. Oh, what's... Oh, slime shroom. Ugh. Ugh. Disgusting. Wow, our inventory is tiny to start with. Holy shit. This is all we can hold. Another slimy shroom. Oh, wow. I am not keen on that inventory space. That doesn't exist. And there's no map button again. This game seems like it took a lot more cues from Sophie than Fierce, or better or worse. Yeah. You don't have a fishing rod? Okay. I mean, obviously we're going to be able to make a backpack later on to kind of, like, subdue that issue to an extent, but it's still a bit like, oh, geez, okay, fuck. Oh, okay, they're just map exits. Alright, let's return home. You'll rest till 8 o'clock in the morning if you make this move, yes. That's main complaint, Lydie and Suelle has is the inventory count. Yeah, it is low. But I get why they probably made it low, because there's not really seeming to be an LP system. So they're trying to think, okay, how else can we make sure that there's still a back and forth of making sure people come back to the Atelier? We need cobalt grass, wood, and threads. But let's make a green neutralizer. Oh, we got some S rank Weiss wheat. Oh, I'm not using them yet. Aw, I just saw a little this bean's face on the side. Look how happy she is. But how much of a smug little menace she is. She's still got the bean face. It was because once you get into the rhythm, you can make some broken stuff and it only gets worse in Sophie 2. Yeah. But I get the logic, you know? Like, I get the basic. Like, they don't have the LP system restricting you as much anymore. So they need to kind of keep you wanting to come back one way or another in other ways. I'm going to change back. Just because she's got the better swing. She's got a good swinging arm. I'll probably be angry. We shouldn't enter without permission. Give us permission, you fuck. Right, yeah, this will work. Alright, whatever. Question, where does he sleep? These two clearly sleep here. That's right, I am a fantastic painter. The craft for Sophie 2 features a bomb that can make a black hole! Oh, damn! Alright, let's go back exploring again. I'm having fun. Actually, get some water. But I imagine it won't take too long to get a backpack anyway, so I'm not... Well, if it does take a while, like, you'll get good enough, so I'm not too fussed. Mysterious really wanted you to focus on being broken AF. Yeah, but I think... Actually, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think why they might have done that compared to, like, other sagas. And it's like, maybe it was just their effort to try and attract a new audience, because power fantasy is a thing. But then equally, if you go too much into power fantasy, people get bored. So it can't be just that, you know? Certainly strong compared to the other Atelier Pro tags. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a bit of a fucking wake-up call if I ever do go for, like, the Ireland games or the Dusk games. And suddenly I'm not a god, or become a god by the time the game ends. I say that, I still got my ass whooped in both Sophie and Fierce a fair number of times. That's mostly because of level difference being just way too strict. Or I go to somewhere way too early sort of thing. I'll invent something that breaks battle mechanics. Oh, I'm sure I'll learn that one out when I get to it. Oh, they still got that shit where when it's raining or foggy, the minimap gets fogged up. Oh, great. I'm so happy that stayed. From Fierce. Of all the things they could have kept from Fierce, they had to keep that one. They couldn't have kept the fucking bulldozer. Because yeah, I did eventually make the toy bulldozer in the end. Oh, it's not. I just realised it's not telling me what level the enemies are. At least I didn't spot it say anything. So it's more about magical life. Yeah, I suppose it is on entropic themes. So in my opinion, the OP style is intentional. Which, yeah, makes sense. I think it'll be interesting if I ever try the Ireland games, because that'll be the biggest fucking leap from Ireland 3 to Ireland 4, considering Ireland 4 came out after Rise of 1, I believe. And like you play as, I think it's like the daughter of one of the Ireland pro tags in that. I think that'll be an interesting jump to try. But then the further back we go, the closer I get to that. I think I've told you before. There was one I can't remember what it was because I was a little kid. But there was one on the PS2 that I played that I didn't like, and it's what put me off the Atelier series as a whole. Because even as a kid, I was at least somewhat interested. And it's like the further back I go, the more likely I'm eventually going to like start rubbing shoulders with whatever that game was, and I won't know what it is until I play it, and then I'll play it and go, ah, fuck, it's this, you know. It shows how unforgiving it is, and that's Dusk 1, right? You said it a few times that you like it, but like the time limit is insanely strict. Oh, I probably need something bigger for this. I can enjoy Verona. Those same save scumming is necessary. Yeah. Rich Farm, beating cats off. Yeah, that's part of the reason as well why I'm not starting with the Dusk games. Because it's like, by the time I do this saga, by the time I do the Secret Saga, obviously I won't jump straight into Dusk because, you know, 7 Atelier games back to back is still 7 like games of the same franchise back to back. You know what I mean? Like that'd still be kind of brutal. And then to suddenly go back to Dusk and notice how much clunkier and different it is and older. It's also like leaving it till way later allows me to be far more experienced with the franchise. You know? So when I go into it, although yeah, it'll still probably kick my ass for a while, I'll just have more general knowledge and understanding of its systems and mechanics that I should hopefully be fine. Or at least not suffer as badly. A ring wastes plenty of time instead of attacking a monster. Oh, also, small thing, is either Cory or a Cory doll in this game. Because it's always the thing I always miss when I start a new Atelier, is not being able to get like infinite amounts of my items. Oh, I can't jump this fence. Is it bad? More of like an idle simulator at times rather than Atelier games. Well, you have to like do things so specifically to get what you need. Oh, some wheat. Real Cory. A lot of Sophie characters get resolutions to their arcs here, which I suppose makes sense because it was, you know, the last one of the initial trilogy that they set out to do. So there is a lot of closure they need to give. Mostly for Plachta. I mean, we got a little bit of closure because they seem to, because Plachta got to somewhat reconcile with her old friend in Firis. With, you know, Meklet and Atamina. Like, they got to somewhat reconcile. And I hope we bump into real Cory. I miss that bean. The Cory doll having a milk tax was funny, though. I'll give him that. We made one. The complaint I have, I can't believe I'm making this complaint of how much I love the Yoni Summer, but Mysterious feels like the Sophie show. She overshadows everyone, in my opinion. Yeah, because that was the thing, like, as much as I love Sophie's inclusion in Firis, I love the fact that in the main game, you only have like 3 interactions with her. She's there with you at the start, you bump into her for a while in Flusheim, and then you don't see her again until the end. And then in post-game, it's up to you if you decide to pursue her story arc or not. If you decide not to, you don't speak to her at all. If you decide to do so, then you spend loads of time with her. I didn't that much because her story arc involves crafting a bunch of really high-level Atelier stuff with resources I didn't have nor could be bothered to find, like fucking Philosopher's Stone. It was a cool boss battle. Yeah. Because I said in the last Furious stream I did, because I ended up fighting the dragon that wiped out Leonie's homeland. That became my final boss, because afterwards I then went back to Atona and just, you know, decided on what I wanted to do in my life, and that was go with Leonie. So that dragon became my final boss, and to be honest, I liked it as a final boss. I thought it did what it needed to as a final fight. I know that there's like an optional super boss, like God tier dragon in Furious, that has its own boss theme that people treat as like the final battle. But that's way late post game when you're like super kitted out at max level and everything. And I'm like, that's like the equivalent of like the super boss alternate variant of Sophie's final boss. It's like super tough. It's like it's the same sort of ballpark. And it's like, yeah, I'll get to it when I eventually do the post games. Speaking of when it comes to post games and whatnot, and this isn't a guarantee because obviously we're many games short of it, I am entertaining the idea of once I've beat all the games, like once I've beaten all the way up to Riser 3, sorry, going back and starting to do post games on stream of every Atelier game. So we'd go back to Sophie 1, you know, now with new experience, and apply all we know and start going through the post game, clean it up, try and fight the super bosses, find new quest arcs, try and get as close to 100% completion as we can. Maybe even try and go for the platinum, but we'll see. Furious may be in the same boat. The only problem is that there's one trophy that sits in my mind that makes me kind of hesitant, and it's beat Sophie in the exam, and that means I'd have to go through the game again because there's no way in hell the save I've got before the exam is in a good enough position to beat her, because I can't even beat Elmira. Same as the champion in Sophie. Yeah. I'm curious how they'll restructure the alchemy mechanics, and while it might not be their intended purpose, but post-game bosses is a hook for me now. Yeah, I mean it's the proof of how much you actually know about the systems, isn't it? That's why I say it prior. Yeah. But yeah, because I accepted the exam and then saved. That was my fault, so I'd have to go through it again. But if I was going to go through it again, I would go to the other licensed alchemists anyway, because I know where all 5 of them are, and I'm pretty sure I could do all 5 of them and still have plenty of time left. After her fight theme, I did. It's a remix of her opening theme from Sophie, but it's what it needed to be. And the dragon theme, neither of them quite stand up to Sophie's final boss theme, but I wasn't expecting it to, if I'm honest. I don't think it was ever going to really stand a chance to. Adrian, but do you still think this will let us pass the exam? Go to the boss battle and it's freaking great, and oh god, yes. Not really sure. Kind of looks more like nightmare paintbrushes to me. We followed the recipe though. Let's try it to Mirrorly. Why not? Might even be what she wants, although I'm really not sure about that. We're just going to rise the tracks. Well, you say that, but like, I've heard, even though I'd be blind to Riser 2, I've heard Riser 2's final boss theme, and I kind of like it. Obviously, like, it's not on the same level, but I like it for its own beast. It's really unfair, but I can't help it. Yeah, no, I get it. Like, I think I've said it before, but like for me, I do tend to treat each game's soundtrack as its own. Like, I'll compare it, but I can still appreciate for what their own. And Riser, its primary push was a nostalgic / relaxing feeling more than anything. And so, like, it is super, like, chilled out and cozy, but at the same extent, because of that, it doesn't become as memorable. It does remind me, where is it, of this. From Blue Reflection 1, the school theme. Where I love the track when I'm hearing it, but it doesn't stick in my mind when I'm not. Because it's supposed to just be a relaxing background melody. But I say that, even Blue Reflection 1 has this God tier final boss theme. Where it plays the leitmotif of the game's main theme in it. Impersonal biases since my sense is super sensitive. Yeah, that's fair. Because I love this theme. This was my favourite track in Blue Reflection 1. Because of how it remixed the franchise's leitmotif into it. But in saying that, both Blue Reflection games have god tier soundtracks as well, in my opinion. Ah. Dun 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 dun. And this is phase 3 of the final boss theme, by the way, which is why the Sayonara is the final boss theme. It's split into 3 pieces. And this came out the same year as this game, I believe. I think they were both 2017. Which was also the same year fucking Knights of Azure 2 came out. So fucking Gust were on fire in this year when it came out. That's only phase 3. There's 2 phases before it, but phase 3 was the one that stuck out to me the most. This is the original Blue Reflection. This is BR1. This is the theme when you literally fight God. Yeah, Blue Reflection 2 tracks aren't in this game because it came out way later. I say all the boss themes in this game are sick. If you haven't before, all of the boss themes in this game are kind of crazy. They're techie as hell, but I love them. Of course I ended up talking about Blue Reflection. Can you tell I love those games? Oh, whoops. It's one of the other reasons why I'm excited for Sophie 2. Sophie 2 came out after Blue Reflection Second Light, so I can have Second Light music playing. Hopefully. But I guarantee you, I'm gonna make Hopeful Astra a Atelier, like my Atelier Dome theme. Because that's my favourite track of that game, because of how beautiful it is. All the boss themes in this game are sick. Bird. And because Blue Reflection 1, every single boss in the game has 3 phases, every single theme has 3 variants. It doesn't... There's some of their tracks, but it doesn't outdo Lydie and Suelle. I think people saying Lydie and Suelle, or Sophie 1. That's fair. I need to go through BR1 again at some point. I only played it this year, but I need to go through it again. It's very clunky and got a lot of problems, but I still liked it. And I love the techie boss themes. It's the only thing that was missing from BR2 was the techie boss theme. So the only thing that gets techie is like the final boss theme, and that's it. Anyway, that's enough Blue Reflection. They've also got Knights of Azure 2 music in here, but not Knights of Azure 1, and that's a crime, because Knights of Azure 1's soundtrack is godly. Anyway. So there's a good couple of songs, one that's insane for the Zimmel fight, but it doesn't beat all the rounder OST fights, so it doesn't quite compare to Saturnus or Laser. That's fair. But when we get the Sophie 2, I can guarantee, and it's going to keep on growing as this goes on, the actual, like, you can pick what tracks play in your Atelier and whatnot. The tracks I'll have playing is going to be quite a smorgasbord. I won't have, like, the boss theme sort of thing, because I like the Atelier to still be kind of cozy and fun. But I can guarantee you it'll be, like, both of Sophie's Atelier theme, Furious' first Atelier theme, maybe this game's Atelier theme, depending how it goes, and then, like, 6 tracks from Blue Reflection. Doing paintbrushes? Question mark? Thank you. I'll take this. Sorry, I can't give you a pass for this. Oh, what? Yeah, I didn't think so. You're on the right. Oh, throat. Oh, excuse me, throat. Not for the Atelier theme. Laerzir and Saturnus, I love those tracks, but they don't fit. I like the sorry, throat's going. I don't think they'd fit an Atelier. Let me have some of my water. Holy shit, my throat just got super dry. Oh, I don't have my old pop bottle anymore. I got a new bottle, so I have to. It's a twist open now. So this info pretty godly. The was insane at the start of the song. Ooh. Also, I realised my bottle is kind of squeaky, so sorry if that it picked up on the mic too badly. I didn't see Azure 1 when I was looking. You can also need to refill my 1 gallon BRB. No worries. A bit more on your own. Take the exam as many times as you like. Try again, show me what you make. Very well. We have to put our own spin on it. Yeah, we need to stop doing the cauldron gridding. What's going on? Lydie, we're leaving. We need to give making these brushes some more thought. Yes, I'm coming. I guess I really am just imagining things. Make it our own, she said. Give me any ideas. We can just do this. Oh my. Is this who I think it is? Is this Elmira? Say there, you two. Can you help me? You might be right. If only we had a master. I agree. But there aren't many alchemists in Mervale, let alone ones who could become. You two, listen. It is. I am talking to you. Oh, sorry. What can we help you with? Interesting get-up. I just wanted some directions. Is this the way to the castle? Yes, this is the way. Are you going to see the sights? No, I've been summoned by the king, actually. What? From the king himself? Just who are you? I am Elmira von Lineweather, nothing less than a genius-level alchemist. Where's your girlfriend? Where's Beerus? What? Is that true? You're dazzling me. Dazzling! My head is spinning. Fucking this girl. Suelle is I love Suelle. Suelle is such a fucking treat. So, you okay? It's happening to me too. I'm overwhelmed. Okay. Hey, you two, are you okay? Speak to me. Thanks for the food. How did it come to this? Getting waylaid by these sisters on the way to the castle, and ending up having to feed them. Sorry about that. You really are amazing though, aren't you, Elmira? Becoming a certified alchemist at your age, and invited by the king to start an atelier. The exam to get certified is super hard, isn't it? I wish we could be like you. Don't make too much of it. I'm more surprised to hear that you two are alchemists. We can't compare to you, Elmira. We just failed our exam. You have exams here too, do you? Can I have a look at it? That's a nasty little test. Whoever put that hole in the recipe knows their stuff. Free to adjust it? You won't make much of anything if you don't adjust this one. What, really? So we've been tricked? Incredible, Elmira. You saw through the trick in an instant. Of course I did. I haven't been an alchemist all this time for nothing. You're so cool. Hey, Sue, you know what? I think so too. Pretty sure we just had the same idea, sis. Elmira, can we ask you? Please become our alchemy teacher. Be the Sophie of this game. What are you talking about? We've been looking for a teacher, a master alchemist. Teaching ourselves isn't getting us anywhere. We have to become better alchemists, no matter what. We have to become the greatest in the kingdom. That's our promise with our mum. But there was no one we could ask. Until now, please teach us how to be better alchemists. I see. I think I understand the situation. I thought you were mocking me for a moment. Very well, I'll teach you, if you're sure, but take another night to think it over. If you still feel the way tomorrow, come and see me again, understand? Yes, we'll see you tomorrow, Teach. Too soon to call me that, get out of here anyway. You're literally making me keep the king waiting. Sure thing, we'll just head back home. See you again tomorrow, Elmira. Talk about double trouble, and look in their eyes though. I've seen that before. Yes, where's Beerus? Teach, is it? You know, I think I can live with that. Elmira's atelier is like right next to ours. Oh, there's side quest at the notice board. Oh, for goodness. Bother is popular as ever today. I know, I'm so jealous. The ranking system hasn't changed that, has it? It's a long-standing story after all. I'm still really jealous. My! If it isn't Lydie and Sue! Ah, we've been spotted. What's with Dad's reaction? What are you doing here anyway? Don't tell me. You're jealous about all the customers we have. She saw right through us. Yes, Lucia, you hit the nail on the head. We were just talking about how nice it would be to be so busy every day. Oh, I'm sure you were. This is my atelier after all. What about your atelier then? Empty, deserted, closed for a foreseeable future. It's not that bad. We don't have that many customers, but still. I see. In which case, if you ask nicely, maybe I'll tell you the secret to our success. Really? Tell us, Lucia. Speaking of puzzle news, I'm almost at chapter 20 or 25. Oh, was this of them the fairy fencer? God damn, that 25 chapters still seems so absurd to me. Lydia, we're leaving. Oh, hold on, Sue. Got and done it again. That wasn't really my intention. What, to come off like a cocky prick? Yep. Also, yeah, I've seen who our master is. Elmira's going to be a treat. They're only for cuddles. I know, I like Lucia. I can see the cracks of the character immediately. Like, she has a front, but her front is too aggressive. But what's actually beyond that is a lot softer. She wants to be friends with these two, but she comes off as like an antagonist without meaning to. Like, that was very clear to me that she puts on a front. You're back. Rejoice. I sold off some old painting gear and brought some food. You did? Don't worry about it. Someone treated us to a great meal. What? Sorry, Dad. We'll eat that tomorrow. Good night. Mera said to think it over. But we aren't going to change our minds. Of course not. She seems really kind. I'm sure she'll teach us all sorts of things. Chris, for instance, before the game. Oh, okay. So it's just... It's like a rivalry friendship. It's just, like, Lucia clearly wants to be closer or kinder with them, and it's just not quite working out because her natural front comes across so antagonistic. She feels pressure. Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised of how busy her atelier is. Me too. This will bring us that much closer to becoming the greatest alchemist. I can't wait. Once we proceed by alliance Lydie and Suelle as a reliable big sister to them. Oh, and instead of pulling the Leonie route of being like overly cuddly, instead goes the wrong way and becomes kind of cold. Or seemingly cold. This is the breakfast. We're off, Dad. What? Where are you headed? It's a secret. See you later. I'm going to save again before we go harass poor Ilmera. She'll be aggressive, but she's a son with them. Yeah. Well, that's the impression I kind of got. I love that Elmira's atelier is like right next door, at least. So I don't have to travel far. You came back. I guess that means you haven't changed your mind. Traits are highlighted best in this game. Well, yeah, she's a bit more mature and a bit older, and she's had, you know, her character arc in Theoris since then. She's not actively hunting her parents' approval anymore. She's found her own... Well, she kind of got their approval in the end when she decided to open her own atelier. Haven't changed your minds? We haven't. We want to learn alchemy from you, Elmira. Please, Master, teach us all about alchemy. Okay, I'm not going to hold back, though, so get ready for this. We're ready! Wait for you to fully discover alt. Let's start your lessons at once. Tell me then, my students, just what is alchemy? What do you mean? Mixing materials in a cauldron to make something, right? Not a bad overview, perhaps, but it isn't entirely accurate. Alchemy means listening to the voice of materials and then using natural power to transform them. The voice of materials? They can talk? Yes! Only the very best alchemists can hear them. Most alchemists will never. just want some cake. Sue, wake up! Teach, I'm sorry. A lecture is too boring for Sue. No problem. You'll need more than lectures to improve anyway. Saya is so much cuter than Furious. Yeah, she looks like a princess in this, which makes sense considering her her family heritage and how like pristine and high quality of a family they're supposed to be. She looks like she's from some kind of royal family. Actually, the easiest way to put it, in Furious, she looked like a royal outcast. There was beauty in her costume and glamour in it, but it looked like it was rough around the edges, like she was rebelling, whilst this is more embracing. Trumped. Her years of lectures can be trumped by 1 year of experience. That's how alchemy works. Both of you, come over to the cauldron. I'll teach you some high-quality synthesizing. So many characters in Mysterious I crush on. Yeah, really? I can tell. I'm fucking around, dude. Don't worry. My main girl is still Pamela. Ghost or not, she's cool. Raizo and Claudio was vicarious. For me, it's more that I want Raizo and Claudio to get better along with each other. That was my thing. I wanted them to get along with each other better. I want them to hook up. This man ribs me for it. No, it's cool. No, I get it. I mean, literally, I have no reason to jab. Like, pull down the live chat for a second and bring up the description of my video and read the bottom 3 lines of it underneath my Twitter and Patreon link. I have a waifu list. It's fine, dude. It'd be hypocritical of me to criticize. This one, mixing materials. The more you add them, cauldron temperature, all important. Oh, we're doing the bars. I like how they handle the bars now. So the bump up is when the bonuses kick in, I assume. Oh, we're back to a 4x4. This is reasonable. So many waifus I like in the full-on grocery list. Well, the idea is that I'll add to that list. I won't take... Like, Ruenheid in Knights of Azure 2, I adored because she genuinely loves the main character. She genuinely, like a romantically loves the main character, but just never knows how to approach it. And it just made her really charming. And the fact that she's also like a fierce, like muscular woman, it's just like, you just ticks more boxes for me. Yeah, I know how this works. It looks like it's more in line with Sophie than Furious. Another time they've done it. It seems like green points. Oh, I've got... Please tell me you just have rotation as a standard in this game, and it's not something you have to unlock. Wait, how long videos about them? You didn't do it. It might be your niche. Do character studies. We call it the waifu study. And just do like giant scripted videos talking about them with like footage of the characters just doing things, like intersplice it with like maybe like it's like, oh, like in this particular moment where it had this effect and it did this response and yada yada. You know what I mean? Like they make due to the length of the green gauge, HP recovery S and yada bonus, and then you can complete the process. Yeah, I mean it's a huge workload to make it work, so I get that. So you basically have to go through the whole game and record, build lots of pieces, just using still images. Yeah, I mean any review I treat as video essays and then have images usually. The only exceptions were when I reviewed V2R, Dragonstar Varnir, and the Ninja Wars spin-off. Those ones I actually had videos to use. Everything else tends to be pictures and music. Pick things up quickly. Hey, look at that. Because I did used to do reviews. I don't really do them anymore because they're so time-consuming. But it was something I did for a bit. Look at that. Yes, it's totally different. Like when we use materials from inside the painting. From inside where? No matter. They're the basics of synthesis. Remember them well. We will, at this rate, we'll have the greatest atelier in the kingdom before we know it. No, you won't. Alchemy is more than just synthesis. Alchemy is about creation. Creativity and imagination are as important as synthesis skills. I did a video where I explained the writing problem with Iris Heart and how badly death of the author is implemented, because what the game tells us about her is the opposite of what I see. Yeah, I think we said it before. I love Plutia, but I'm a little bit more on the fence with Iris. The biggest thing I liked with Iris is that some of Iris's personality bled into Plutia. Like, you saw she got slightly more sadistic as the game went on, and I thought that was an interesting quirk. That more of that coldness and more of that brutalness like kind of trickled into normal Plutes as it went on. Or is it the logic and reason why she does what she does? Man. Alchemy is about creation, just read that. Imagination, creativity. Yes, the ability to imagine new recipes. Is it a sadistic? For example, if it isn't something I can teach either. Early game Iris and anime Iris, I think, can do sadistic. Mid to late game, there's more layers to it. I got the impression that there was like a deep-rooted hatred that she buries, and she kind of lets it out with Iris more, and some of it creeps into Plutes from time to time. But because in the nicest possible way, I think Plutes is the best character in the third game, but I think the third game is the worst written of the series. And I know that's a real big hot take, but I genuinely don't like a lot of the writing in that game. I think there's some just like good ideas but poor executions with it. Got a good emotional outcome or lack of affection that she needs. Death. That's fair. I liked Anna Death, but I liked it more in the anime. More so because it was more like almost in your face fucking with people, and I just found him really fun. Whilst Victory feels like it's juggling too much at once at times with all the villains, and only like 3 of them are interesting. I've got Noir. Sure, Iris Heart used brutal methods, but it got Noir in gear. At some point I need to go through those games again. Maybe if they do fucking Reverse 2 or Reverse 3, I'll live stream them. Fucking So I wouldn't put it past them. We're still waiting to hear anything for the future of that. Because that's the crazy thing. I didn't even realize it straight away. It was only a couple years ago we had like several Neptunia projects all going at once that we knew about to some extent. And we're actually in a position right now that after Sisters v Sisters, there is nothing. I mean, so technically there already is nothing because it's out in Japan. Like, Neptunia's gone quiet. Like, and that's never, like, at least in I've been in the series, that's never happened. There's always been at least 2 spin-offs in the future coming. Or re-releases or something. And now we're suddenly in a position where, like, Nept might be, like, pausing for a minute. She didn't mean things to R4, but it was a combo between protecting the kiddos and wanting them to call her cool. Yeah, but didn't she end up scarring Kid Iffy from that scene? So much so that even when Iffy grew up, every time Iris showed up, she started freaking out and having a panic. That it's like sadism is at the core of Iris, but there's so many more on top of it. That's not the only thing. If she was a sadist, she would have done something similar to RB2 and Bondage. Yeah. 10% to do so. Yeah, because she tried to get over to her, like, come on, you're fine. And if he was like, ah! Ditch Eva. Thinking flexibly and experiencing many different things. That's the key to discovering recipes. Conditions. Oh. To find her Aphos' mama bear-esque. Yeah, she just does it weirdly. She likes people wanting to kind of glop to her. She likes people when they kind of go to her, and she wants to be the, and like wants to rely on her. The problem is that she has a very fierce exterior that she likes to show off as well, so they collide. It's time to test you a little. I want you both to come up with some new recipes. That's so sudden. We have to think of some new recipes already. Maybe just struggles with proper communication. I mean, that's present in Plutes, to be fair. That's not just Iris, that's present in Plutes as well. I say that like they're different people, but of all the characters, Plutio and Iris feel the most like they're two separate characters. Of all the transformation characters. Like, I'd say even Uzume feels more like they're the same person. More than, because Orange Heart is just like a more honest version of Uzume. Whilst Plutes and Iris, they feel like different characters. It feels more like a split personality. They're frustrated with calling us sadistic because I resonate with that dissonance. Vicious protective. But if it's I can be protective as well, but I'm usually not, at least I'd like to think, I'm not that vicious. I can be blunt and I can be argumentative, but I'm not aggressive. Be fine. I have a friend who can think of 2 or 3 recipes in a single night. Just go and try a lot of different things. If you go, do your best. She practically kicked us out. Myra might be tougher than I thought. You might be right. She explained things very well, though, didn't she? She loved protected, but has a poor understanding of how to act, communicate it. Yeah. Maybe they bring back Plute in a proper 5th game, they can elaborate on that. Assuming they allow it to be a little darker and a little bit more real again. Because that's what I loved most about the 4th game. Seeming for half of it, but she did seem pretty good at it. If we follow her lead, we can become great alchemists. We need to do what she told us. Get hints of experiencing various things, like, how about taking on some quests then? Make some money and earn some experience. It sounds like 2 birds with 1 stone. Quote to define Iris. Settles it. Let's head to the plaza right away. Oh. Do I have to be playing as Sue to get these Sue's recipes? But that was paid with good intentions. If you need, we can collect some plant oil, or collect something new to get plant oil. Use a tool to get a uni bag. There is. That's kind of. I have to get into the habit of, like, every time I go out swapping character then. That's why I'm lying so well and shared. Sophie 2 will be the same thing. Oh yeah, right, because you have her time travel, dream realm, whatever the reasoning is, like grandmother in it. Bit more lax with the shared. Yeah, as long as the stuff that I can carry through the game is in shared, we'll be fine. It's just if it's like really important stuff that's only on one of them that I really need to survive, it'll start to get more annoying and taxing. What kind of quest would be best? We can't really afford to be picky though. You can pick up quests at the notice board or speak to the reception ladies. Also, this is the equivalent of the bar. New quests for money and items. Sophie mini plush stuff there. I guess to be expected, but a lot of them involve leaving the city. There are monsters out there, so we have to prepare well, make some items, and get some weapon and armor too. You can find both of those at Haggle's place. We better go and see him, although we can't buy anything without money. Oh, I completely forgot about that problem. And Miss Plush is disturbingly hot. What do you mean disturbing? She's like, should I be concerned? Wait, bonus quests? He's femdom vibes? Does it something to do with the battle poses? Oh, okay, I'll be the judge of that. I just noticed a shiny spot on his head at the smithy.
Cutscene, she's middle school syndrome. My brain being odd.
I want to go exploring, trying to loot some stuff again. Phrase of mighty curious whenever our older self cringes at a phrase for whatever reason. Oh yeah, because there's two Plachtas in Sophie 2, isn't there? Because you got the actual Plachta, and then you got like the Plachta from the past or something. That was with the grandma, because, you know, family relations, I guess. Oh, at least the stat... Okay, that's a cute victory pose. At least the stat growth is a bit better. That was so tiring in Fiora, so I'd level up and it'd just be 1 point or something. Using some uni bags and collect something new. There's something new. Oh, ingots. So, you know, like whenever you're growing up and you find your personal lexicons, there are a set of words you gravitate to. Yeah. She's saying mightily curious or things like that. Oh, well, spirit stones are just here. Fucking nice. I don't think that enemy died. No, it didn't. Some of them you regret because how cringy they are. Oh. Yeah. Is that what you mean? Oh, plush to a mini plush. Because I would be like, oh yeah, there's loads of sayings in my past that I'm super cringy about now. But then I realise I still say most of them. So I can't... It'd be kind of... ignorant. Smarter than they actually are. Yeah. For me, it's less like sayings. It's more... like maybe like a speech or a paragraph or a rant I had from forever ago. I'll read back on and just go, oh Jesus Christ, I was so uninformed. Using lexicon is one of them. It's lexicon. Good old accent kicking in a little there. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Free space, only 17 slots already, jeez. I haven't using archaic Old English. I try to deliberately, when I'm writing, to use like older English. But it's very dependent on what it is. Like, I have a character in Demon of Zenelheim, my current book, called Vita, and she will say thus. Sort of thing. She doesn't say thou, but she will say thus, yada yada sort of thing. But she's slightly more etiquette and traditional. Give me grief for it. Prim and proper and all that. Yeah. I never got bullied for that. I got bullied for other shit. It was only when I started working at a job that I had a few people say, "You sound too high class to be working here," and I was like, "What the fuck what does that mean?" Whom rather than who? That's... Oh, Sue did get something. Jet now, yeah. If it's a condescending image, I don't really want. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because yeah, you're sitting, you're like, oh Jesus Christ, this guy, you know. I get it. My stream, I am chill but hyperactive and energetic. Yeah. Well, for me, it's what you can tell in the stream. Depending, if we get into the spirit of it and things are going smoothly, I can be very bouncy. But that's just because I am hyperactive by default. I can't help that. Sparky, that's much better than I got. My nicknames were all fucking insults due to my based on my disabilities. And I wish I was kidding. Yeah, I'm riddled with them. Absolutely riddled with disabilities and physical problems. And I wish that was underselling. Nice. Okay, I'm trying to craft a bunch of things early to try and get my rank up and glimmer, you know, don't get me on the board. Can't make any of this, obvs. Oh, did I not? Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought I got the pick up something new. It will, but it is. Yeah, no, I always say it jokingly, but it is kind of true. I'm kind of a walking miracle to an extent with how my body is and the fact that I'm still able to walk. I genuinely am. I am absolutely riddled with problems. I've got a damaged spine. I've got a irregular hip. I've got dislodging kneecaps. Both of my feet bones are pointed, so they stab into my muscles, so they hurt to walk on. Like they're sharp and pointed. I have poor blood circulation on the left side of my body, which is why my vision's blurred in my left eye. And I am hypermobile, which means I'm double jointed in every single possible joint in my body. I have to be very fucking careful with my body because it will collapse on a heartbeat if I mistreat it slightly. Also, I've been doing Aish DX's secondary opening. Don't say anything during it and take it in. Just so I shouldn't blow my mind. Yeah, I try not to. It's just anytime there's any kind of lyrical track in an Atelier game, the stream gets claimed. The stream gets a copyright claim on it. So I'm just like, I mean, it doesn't, it's not a strikes, it's not like I lose the video, but it gets claims, but it doesn't get advertised. Anyway, I'm gonna go back out into the map. Actually, Plaza, notice board. We'll see if there's anything else I can do. Is that different?
Yeah, mine's very, almost entirely physical. The heart condition due to consuming an inhuman amount of soda. You have asthma, a severely injured shoulder on one end, and a shoulder bursts. Oh, jeez. Well, we're two sufferers of life carrying on in our own way, then. I say that. I say sufferer. I keep a head on my shoulders. I just kind of keep smiling and cracking on. Because you have to, don't you? If you don't, you burn. Because my family, on the male side, have a history of heart conditions, so I get heart scans, like once or twice a year, just to kind of check that I'm not showing any signs, more out of paranoia. Because if I am showing signs, I'd rather kind of nip it in the bud early than, you know, wait for an inevitable fucking heart attack or something. Injured, I trained for wrestling while injured. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Now, my body's just... my bone structure's just built wrong. When I was injured. Ugh. But it's crazy how that happens. Like, if sometimes it like... my stepdad... he broke his jaw like a decade ago. And he didn't even realise until he did a general body scan like over a year later. And they talked about it, and they traced it back to like this one incident he had where he got into a fight. Which, before you say no, he's not a violent person, it's his job. He's a British police officer, or at least he was. He's more of an office man now, so he's used to getting into scraps. And one just got extra violent for it like years ago, and that was the result. So I can tune out pain to the point where I can ignore actual injuries. Pain tolerance. That's what it's called. I have a high pain tolerance, but that's mostly because my body has ached most of my life. So I've learned to zone it out. But it's both a blessing and a curse. It means you can take more when you need to, but at the same time you don't understand what your body is incapable of handling. You reach a point where you don't even register it. It's my curse. I do that way too often, especially when I'm at work, because I'm working again tonight, which is why I'll be wrapping up the stream soonish. I need to get ready and whatnot. I just wanted to be this, kind of make a good first impression for myself on this stream, because Beerus we kind of barely touched on stream 1 if I recall. Caffeine dependency that influenced it. Because that's the thing, I was never a coffee person as a kid. Mostly because I was very hyper energy anyway, so I don't think they would have ever trusted me. Moo! What's this lady got to say? My farm. I've grown so much I can't harvest it all. Feel free to say whatever you like. Oh, well, I'd already been doing that, but thanks. I'm a soda drinker. I wasn't even that much of a soda drinker as a kid. I mean, I drink a little bit more now, but it's all like the healthier-ish ones, you know what I mean? Like, I don't download like a can of Coca-Cola or something every day, or Pepsi. I usually have like I'll have like a cream soda or lemon and lime or things like that. You know, I kind of keep it tame. Amount of texture influence I do is ridiculous. It makes it a nightmare to plan around. Are you more textured than taste when eating? Because that's my problem. That kind of stops me eating some food. How it tastes doesn't seem to bother me much. How it feels is will kind of put me off it.
both. Oh, okay. Oh, I used a low quality cairnstone. Oh well. Oh, I do have a blue rock. Good. Actually, do I have any? I'm gonna try and get more reds in there. It's so far away from getting to get good bonuses, but oh well, we've got to start somewhere. We got bombs. Yeah, Sue, I finished today's diary entry. Gee, thanks. Let's take a look. I used to drink was like 2 liters a day, sometimes more per day. Jesus Christ, yeah, no wonder it fucked you up, dude. Today I changed the way I made some cookies. They turned out nicely. I need to read it out loud. Hold on, Sue. Where have you stopped? What's this? There's a drawing of a cat in the corner of the page. Oh, that's Cookie. A cookie fairy that I thought up myself. Although he's only just been born, he works every day to bring cookies to the people of the world. This is good, real good. It's so cute, I love it. I'll draw him in the diary tomorrow as well, then. I'm glad you like it, but you already don't write enough in your diary, Sue. Besides swapping these daily diaries to help you with your writing. Hey, look, chocolate chip cookie. The other kind of cookie would be good. At least she's having fun. Well, my friends asked me, how are you even alive? I was not too angry to die. I'm entirely sure that's accurate. Green tea cookie. Now, my thing is that I've been warned many a times that it'll be a miracle if I'm not in a wheelchair by like my 40s. Because of how my body is structured. I've got all these exercises I have to do, but it will reach a point where my body will just cave in on itself regardless, kind of thing. And everything I do is postponing. Right, let's go talk to the smithy, assuming they're still open. Hey Haggle, you sell weapons and armor here, don't you? That's how I make my living, not to fight some monsters. Maybe 40. With how modern technology is, I have more faith for your sake than that. With how modern medicine and equipment is consistently improving, I have more faith in that. They'll find things. My natural father was supposed to be dead about 15 years ago, and he's still ticking because of modern medicine. And well, not medicine, he had like major heart surgery, but you know what I mean. I get carried away. Just need to be ready to leave the city for some requests, that's all. I see, in which case, in the right place. Swords, guns, armor, I got it all. Standard gear and special orders, all the best quality. I'm a master blacksmith, take a look around. Hold on. Whatever is the matter, Haggle? You gave me a real scare. Oh, I'm sorry, girls. Just you got something there that I'm really quite interested in. An ingot. A little beauty. Make some specialized gear just for you. Specialized gear? Yes, that makes us sound super rich. Haggle, tell us more. No problem. First things first. That beauties. Yeah, actually. All the amount of sugars you'd probably get in your body. He'll make shit for us. He'll make shit for us. Can you make a gun? Can you make guns so I can get both of the characters covered, or just poles? No, it works. I see. So we bring you the right materials and you create order-made equipment for us. That's right. We'll quickly form an attachment with items made just for you, and they're strong too. You bring enemy materials anytime, girls. I'll make the perfect gear for you. What can I buy from you first? How much? Oh, we don't have that much money. Ooh, increase MP, increase HP. Jeez, pick your poison. What am I missing? Why do I? When did I get? I'm guessing that's another DLC item. Oh, Hegel, I'm impressed. Those guns fit in my hand perfectly. Hey, Sue, I've been wondering about this for a while. Why do you use 2 guns? Yeah, I'm curious too. I don't mind making a pair, of course, but isn't it easier to aim with 1 gun? The reason is simple. 2 guns is much cooler. Excuse me? I read a comic once about a hero who used 2 guns at once. It was so great, I was pretty obsessed with it for a while. I twisted my arm of my gun instructor until they taught me how to use 2 at once. Fun time. Oh, she had a gun instructor. Imagine like having that. Because how young would she have been at that? I mean, that must have been some time ago. Imagine seeing this 12-year-old like angry child coming in and be like, "I want to use guns." So, yeah, she wants Ebony and Ivory. She wants to be the next generation of the protagonist. Because I think whenever Devil May Cry comes back, it'll be a next generation kind of thing. I think whenever there's a DMC 6, it'll be less focused on Dante, Virgil, and Nero, and more focused on new people. Call it a hunch. See, that sounds like something you do, Sue. I understand how you feel too. So let's modify your guns some more, shall we? Make you into a real comic book heroine. Oh, are you sure? Very well. So, by concentrating, I can extend the barrels by 3 meters. Magic blades should extend from the grips too, and when things get dicey, they fire a beam. Extending barrels, magic blades, firing beams, can't make a single one of those. What's this feeling? The feeling of defeat. What should I do? What can I do? Ah! So we need cloth. Oh, we need a lot of cloth, okay. It's lesser quality, but 2 extra attack! Alright. Now we've got some shenanigans. I mean, you can... Depending on Boy and Dante and the EZO instructor, I mean, he can appear in SMT, so all bets are off. I mean, yeah, the way they explained it in SMT was dimensional shenanigans and deals with the devil. And then they also used the fact that Devil May Cry 2 ends with Dante diving into hell as a reason to justify it. So it's technically canon as well. The real question is, how did he show up in Beautiful Joe? But yeah, that makes enough sense. I could see it happening. Dante just being a fucking dimension traveler. What are we doing now anyways? Make some recipes. But that, I think we will continue. No, we'll see this cutscene first, but we'll be continuing on Thursday. Yeah, there's something about this scene. I think it's some anime OP theme playing in the background. It's an idea. Uh-oh. We haven't been to church much recently, have we? Maybe we should drop by every once in a while. Yeah, maybe. There might be something fun going on. I'm guessing we're going to church now. Pamela! Very well. I think I can allow that. But you have to keep your duties as a nun too, understood? Of course! I understand. I'll do my very best. Mod in DMC, the animation OP to the PC version with Sue. That's funny. Yeah, maybe. Hey, Pam. Oh, they know Pamela. Hey, Pamela. It's been a while. Oh, if it isn't Lydie and Sue. It's nice to see you again. I hurt my palm of my hand clapping too hard there for a way. Pamela Ibis. She's looking as beautiful as ever. Doesn't matter what art style she's in, she looks good. You've been gone a while. How have you been doing? I've been looking for items for my shop. I want to sell as many as I can. I see. You will be running a shop here again? Opening a shop in the church? You're a bold one, Pamela. It's fine. I've got my reasons. I'm sure God will forgive me. It's literally Sophie again. She's gonna run a church shop. It was my idea. Ghost teleportation. It's a bit suspicious to me. What do you think, Sister Grace?
Just like she said, there are reasons for this. She has my permission. That's right. My shop is approved by the church. I don't think we should go quite that far. Really? Well, in any case, welcome to my grand reopening. Do they know? I don't... yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, girls. Take a good look around. And we're back in the atelier. We've got quite a few new recipes. Elmira was right. It was worth giving it a try. Looks like it. It should be more than enough. Let's go and show her what we've come up with. It's back on the table. It's fairly late. I think God's telling me it's time to close up for the day. Water, milk, flare. Oh, that's it? Okay, your shop's kind of shit, Pamela. I love you, baby girl, but your shop's kind of shit today. I've got a fish. An overpriced fish I can sell for 147 gold. What the fuck? I'm good. Soon may the Lord watch over you. Nice to see you, Pam. This is too fun. Yeah, so I won't be streaming tomorrow. So I know I haven't had a schedule this week, so I'm having to kind of explain it as we go because, you know, of all the shit sorting out the PS5, I've had to reorganize. I will say though, before that schedule at the weekend, Soul Hackers 2 is on hiatus. I love the game. Don't get me wrong, I'm really enjoying it. It might be the grindiest fucking RPG I've played since the good old days. Like, it is super old school. But there are a bunch of small technical things that just annoy me with it. Channel update. Oh yeah, I saw you're doing Steins Gate soon, which would be kind of cool. So I haven't played much of that game, but I remember liking what I played of it back in the day. But anyway, what I was getting to is there is confirmed to be a patch coming early next month, and they've detailed what's in that patch, and it fixes like 80% of my problems with Soul Hackers 2's systems. They're gonna give Ringo a sprint button, for God's sake. They're gonna add the ability to double speed during battle, because battle moves way too slow in Soul Hackers 2. They are adding more demons, and they're adding the ability to transfer skills between demons more freely, because right now it's very restrictive. If you get a good fire skill and try to make an ice demon, they will not let you make that fire skill on no matter what. Which I know makes sense, but no older Atlas game does that, and it's really restrictive in Soul Hackers, so I'm glad they're patching that out and changing it. Yeah, it's been the series overall. Well, good luck with that. Anyway, let me get back. But yeah, anyway, the schedule's kind of jiggered for now. It's kind of all over the place. Essentially, I'm not streaming tomorrow, but because Soul Hackers 2's on hiatus till November, I'm pretty much only going to be playing Atelier. And maybe like the odd extra, because like, I know that the next DLC character for Guilty Gear Strive is almost definitely going to be this month. I'm willing to bet it'll drop on Halloween, actually. So I'll obviously, you know, dedicate a stream for that, because I always do a Strive stream when a new character comes out. There's also the crossplay beta later in the month that I'm curious about. So it's all that, you know, it all starts to come together in that sense. But anyway, so we did Elite, so it's only the OG that's left. Fair. Anyway, I had a lot of fun this stream, and I think there's at least one, maybe two clips I can get out of it. But I'm going to wrap up, get some food in my belly, and probably get the washing in, because it looks like that rain is very imminent. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I said I won't be streaming tomorrow. I'll take tomorrow off, but I'll be back on Thursday for more Atelier Lydie and Suelle, or Suelle. It's my brain wants to say Lydie Suelle because it's what it looks like, but it's not. It's Lydie and Suelle. Anyway, I had a lot of fun in today's stream, so I'll see you guys on Thursday for more. Until then, though,